A very good afternoon to you all then. Welcome along to the Commentary Hub's coverage of this Premier League encounter. I'm your alternative host, Russ Vin, and I'll be guiding you through the build-up to this game today, which kicks off in round about 10 or so minutes time at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League this afternoon. And alongside me, to my right, we've got Nicholas Jones. And alongside him, we've got Paul James as well, who's alongside us as well. And we can bring in Paul, who can tell us the headline team news for this game today.
All right, thank you very much, Russ. Good afternoon, everybody. So, for Manchester United, well, they're making two changes from the 1-1 draw with Crystal Palace. Manuel Ugarte and Marcus Rashford step in. Christian Eriksen and Amad Diallo are relegated to the bench. Harry Maguire hasn't travelled. He has picked up an injury. For Spurs, well, the big team news for them, of course, is missing Son Heung-min. He picked up a knock in the week in the Europa League, so he will not play today. Stepping into his spot is the German international Timo Werner. So that's your team news. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you very much there, Paul. We're back with Paul just before kick-off, but let's just fetch in the man who's alongside Paul this afternoon, and Nicholas Jones is also with us today. How are you doing, Nicholas? My friend?
Yes, good afternoon, Russ. Should be an interesting tie, this one. It always is.
Yes, it should be an interesting game. This one, really good to have you alongside Paul for this one, Nicholas. Just looking at some of the news, and we know Marcus Rashford is in the side today for Manchester United. When you look at his performances last season, he did really, really well last season. Manchester United, started off well this season as well for Manchester United, and he's going to be a big player for them. You're looking at him, he's 8 goals last season, 7 in the Premier League. He was top scorer in 22 with 30 goals, 17 of those in the Premier League. How big a player is Rashford for this Manchester United side, Nicholas?
I'd rate him very highly. He always turns in amazing performances. So I don't see why he should be one of the star acts for this game.
Yes, and also for Manchester United, he's coming in for Amad Diallo today, who's done well this season when he's featured for Manchester United. Another one coming into the side today is Manuel Ugarte. He was signed in the summer for Manchester United. Ugarte from Paris Saint-Germain for about £50 million. Million euros, so they're saying he's a good acquisition in that midfield area. He comes in for the experienced and former Spurs man Christian Eriksen. Speaking of Eriksen though, Nicholas, if he comes on with how well he did for Spurs, do you think he'll get a good reception from the travelling Tottenham fans this afternoon?
It'll be interesting to see what the fans of his former club will make of him. But I'd say it should be generally positive. I mean, he was very popular there.
He was, Nicholas. And just looking now, going into Spurs now, Nicholas, and there's a big miss in the Tottenham side in Son Heung-min, who, as Paul pointed out, misses out due to an injury which he picked up in the game against Karabag in midweek, he's going to be a big miss for Tottenham Hotspur this afternoon. And when you look at a kind of a play of Son's qualities, done really, really well this season. He entered the season as a 5th top scoring Spurs issue of 162 goals. He was top scorer in the Premier League last season with 17 goals. There's really good goals as well for not just for Tottenham but for South Korea. How big a miss do you think he's going to be, and how big a shoes is the man coming in for him, Timo Werner, going to have to fill this afternoon?
I reckon I think it's going to be a bit. I think Son's absence will be a bit of a blow to Spurs and Werner. He'll need to step up his game, being recalled. He'll need to step up his game, being recalled at the last moment. he is um, initially on. Don't forget he is on a season-long loan from Leipzig. So this could well add a bit of a pressure to him. But he is in good company because he has two decent players alongside him in the lineup in Dominic Solanke, who scored against Brentford last week, and Brennan Johnson.
Yes, absolutely, Nicholas. And Solanke, really good player he is. He did well at Bournemouth, did Dominic Solanke, a good, strong addition to this Spurs side by Postecoglou in the summer. Obviously, some may say he's not able to lace the boots that was once worn at Tottenham by Harry Kane. But Nicholas, do you think he's going to be? Do you think he could be a good performer for Spurs in the Premier League, Solanke, since he's, especially how well he did for Bournemouth as well?
Well, he appears to have adapted well to life at Spurs. So I think he could well. I think he could well be a good asset for the Whites going forward this season.
Yes, and when you look at the midfield battle today, Nicholas, the central midfield area, Spurs have just got Rodrigo Bentancur in there with Kulusevski, Manchester likely to get forward. Manchester United have got Kobe Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte in there. Kobe Mainoo's a youngster, plays done well in his season that he's come through at Manchester United. He's done well now, being recognised on the international stage as well for England. Bentancur doing fairly well for Argentina. That's going to be a big battle in there as well, isn't it, Nicholas?
Yes, it certainly is, and we know how capable Kobe Mainoo is. We saw him do really well. We saw him do really well at the Euros, and I can definitely see a battle in midfielder between him and his rivals.
Yes, and just want to touch upon as well, Nicholas, the Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes. He's come under a lot of criticism for some of his performances of late, especially with being the captain. He's not been leading by example, Bruno Fernandes. But do you think Fernandes is a quality player for not just for Manchester United, but for his club, his national side as well, Portugal? Do you think he's a very good player for this level of and for this quality of the Manchester United are looking for?
The fans better hope he is, because Manchester United finished 8th last season despite winning the FA Cup and thus gaining a place in the Europa League. So he's really going to have to rally the team round a lot this season to prove that they are more consistent than what they were last season.
Yes, absolutely, Nicholas, absolutely. Well, the team's almost set in the tunnel, ready to come out any second now ahead of kick-off for this afternoon's encounter. I'm just going to ask you one final question, Nicholas, before we get ready to hand over to Paul James, should I say, not Paul James, you're Nicholas. I'll get you two names mixed up there, Nicholas. So, but one question I want to ask you then, Nicholas, just before we do get ready to hand over to Paul James, is what do you reckon the score's going to be today, Nicholas, in this game?
I have a bit. Since I feel that both sides could be evenly matched, it could be. I'd say 2-1 either way, or it could be a 1-1 or even a 2-2 draw. But with a match like this, you never know.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. You'll hear Nicholas's voice again very, very soon in the coverage throughout the afternoon. He's alongside our man in the commentary box, Paul James, this afternoon. Then, and let me get ready to bring you all the action then for this afternoon's encounter at Old Trafford. Is Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur in the company of Nicholas Jones. But first, Paul James.
Thank you, Ross, and welcome everybody. This is not a game that you would associate with league positions of 11th and 10th, but that's where Spurs and Manchester United are in the league right now. Eric Ten Hag under pressure right now. Still, some Manchester United fans would like him out. He has decided to go with a 4-2-3-1 formation today. So we start with Andre Onana in goal, Diogo Dalla, Lissandro Martinez, Mateus de Ligt, and Nusay Mesraoui make up the back four. The two holding midfielders coming in today is Manuel Ugarte and Kobe Mainu. The three attacking midfielders are Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, the captain, Alejandro Garnacho, and Joshua Zirkzee is leading the line. For Ange Postecoglou, well, he's gone 4-3-3 and may have gone unchanged from the game against Brentford had Son not picked up a knock. That's given the Australian a bit of a headache. So he goes 4-3-3 and lines up like this. Guglielmo Vicario in goal. Destiny Udogie, Mickey van der Ven, Christian Romero is wearing the captain's armband today. Pedro Porro. The three in midfield are James Maddison, Rodrigo Bentancur, and Dejan Kulusevski, with Timo Werner, Dominic Solanke, and Brennan Johnson leading the lines. The substitutes for Manchester United, well, they've got Altay Bayinda, the substitute goalkeeper, Victor Lindelof and Johnny Evans, Mason Mount, Christian Eriksen, and Casemiro. And three forwards on the bench today, Rasmus Højlund, Amad Diallo, and Anthony. For Spurs, well, they've gone for a very midfield-heavy sort of substitute bench. They've got Fraser Forster as their backup goalkeeper, Radu Dragusin, and Jed Spence, two defenders on the bench, with Yves Bissouma, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, Pape Sarr, and Mickey Moore as the midfielders, with only one recognised forward, and he's never played for Spurs at senior level, Will Lancashire. He's wearing number 42 today. The two teams have met each other a total of 201 times. Manchester United have won 96 of them. There's been 51 draws and 54 victories for Spurs. They've shared some fantastic games down the years. Our referee today is Chris Kavanagh. He's aged 39 from Ashton-under-Lyne in Greater Manchester. His assistants are Lee Betts, Richard West. Craig Pawson is in fourth official duty, and in VAR today, should we need them, is Peter Banks and Simon Long. Spurs travelling today will wear their white shirts with the blue trims and blue shorts and white socks. Manchester United will get the game underway in their red shirts, white shorts and black socks, attacking the goal to our right as Andre Onana launches the ball downfield, flicked on by Joshua Zirkzee and headed back to the goalkeeper Vicario by Pedro Porro. Bright start for Manchester United, already advancing forward. Spurs, of course, who've been playing that high line recently. Some of the fans have argued that has been perhaps counterproductive. Here's Porro now, and he gives the ball down this near side to the number 32, the number 30, Rodrigo Bentancur. It's played forward by Porro, and it goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. It's come off a Manchester United player, and it's going to be a throw-in for Spurs, just inside about midway inside their own half of the field. As we're going to get an early thoughts from Nick in just a moment. We'll just see this throw-in. It's James Maddison on the ball, drops it back to Porro. Porro steps away from Bruno Fernandes and drops the ball back to Christian Romero. He gives it to the goalkeeper. Mickey van der Ven now has the ball from Vicario. He's got a bit of space in front of him, the Dutchman. He holds the ball up and drops it back there to Christian Romero. Romero, midway inside his own half of the field, plays the ball forward there, and it's Long looking for Brennan Johnson. Johnson down the right, gets the cross in. Oh, it's headed out, but not really far enough. And it's picked up by Zirkzee, but it's almost intercepted and won back by Spurs. And here is the number 13, Destiny Udogie, lays it off there to Timo Werner, and it's picked up here now, about 30 yards out, dropped back there from Pedro Porro to Christian Romero. Romero tries to play the ball through, looking for Kulusevski, but that is a good interception that time by Ugarte, and it goes back to the goalkeeper. And Nick, tell me, early on here, where do you see this? Oh, just one moment, Nick. The ball is down the right-hand side, and it's crossed in by Brennan Johnson, but dealt with by Diogo Dalla. And now Manchester United can try to break. We are going to get Nick in as soon as we can. Ball by Bruno Fernandes looking for Alejandro Garnacho. It's picked up there in the midfield by Kobe Mainoo, but he's dispossessed. And here comes Mickey van der Ven over the halfway line. It's enthralling stuff so far. Van der Ven, and he's fired right to the back post. And it's cut in there by Brennan Johnson. And Spurs take the 1-goal lead. And what a break by Tottenham Hotspur. An inspired run by Mickey van der Ven. And he drilled the ball across the 6-yard box. And on the back post was Brennan Johnson. And it's 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. And we're 3 minutes in, Nick.
Yes, absolutely brilliant goal by Brennan Johnson. I had a feeling that this goal was coming, and Spurs just caught Manchester United napping. Great delivery by I think that was Undogi, and a lovely finish by Johnson. That was all it took. Although I think Solanke might have untouched the ball. I'm just having another look at it again. It was actually Mickey van der Ven with the delivery, and Johnson, as I said, just finished it off. He was in the right place at the right time, didn't need a second invitation, and Spurs are 1-0 up. We appear to have lost Paul. So 4 minutes in.
Okay,
Tottenham...
no, I'm back. Sorry. Some reason my mic went into mute. I'm not sure why that was. It's okay, I'm back though. It's now with the goalkeeper Vicario. And it's played to Christian Romero. Plays the ball long, and it's just headed down comfortably there by Matthijs de Ligt. And cleared away over the halfway line as Manchester United now look to get themselves back into this game. Alejandro Garnacho down the right-hand side, laid it off for Bruno Fernandes. Looking for Kobe Mainoo, but that is a good interception that time. And now here comes Dejan Kulusevski over the halfway line to Brennan Johnson. As Spurs breaking forward in numbers again. Over the halfway line now, Brennan Johnson tries to get the cross in, but that is a really good block by Bruno Fernandes, and anybody questioning his commitment, he went all the way back from midway inside the Spurs half of the field to track Brennan Johnson there. Nick, where do you see the route back for Manchester United? Where do you see that coming from?
Well, they've got to make it snappy, because Spurs, to me, look dangerous. I have a feeling they could add more if Manchester United aren't careful.
Here's Kobe Mainoo, and it's just dropped back there to Diogo Dalla. Long ball over across, and it's picked up here by Mazraoui. Mazraoui gives it to Garnacho. Garnacho returns it to Mazraoui, but it's intercepted. And here is Maddison. Gives it to Solanke, and a good challenge there by Alessandro Martinez on Solanke. But once again, that's a sloppy giveaway by the Manchester United defence. And now the ball is released there by Andre Onana to Kobe Mainoo. Gives the ball to gives the ball there to Rashford, who drops it back. Over again, over the halfway line, looking for Joshua Zirkzee. And it's cleared up by Mickey van der Ven. And van der Ven gives the ball back to the goalkeeper, who releases it. And here is just before the halfway line there is Udogi, who gives the ball here to Werner. Werner tries to play the ball through to Dominic Solanke, but good defending there by Alessandro Martinez, just cutting across and making the challenge. And the ball just rolls out of play. And you can already see the look on Erik ten Hag's face, Nick. It doesn't look very good, does it? He doesn't look very happy with this start.
No, he doesn't, and you alluded to earlier that the fans want him out, or at least the majority of them do, but he really just has to grit his teeth and work out where to go from here. 7 minutes in, and I still can't believe that Spurs are 1-0 up.
Well, there's a foul on Rashford there by Pedro Porro. The free kick is taken quickly. And it's Matthijs de Ligt, gives it to Mazraoui. Mazraoui returns the ball to Andre Onana. who just lifts the ball over the top. It's headed down there by Kobe Mainoo, looking for Diogo Dalla, but that ball goes out of play. And it's going to be another throw-in for Tottenham as Manchester United turn the ball over again inside their own half. And the throw-in is probably going to be, yes, it's going to be taken on that far side by Pedro Porro. And it's just in front of the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. Porro just throws the ball down there to Brennan Johnson, gets the ball back, goes for the long ball, a super ball. But just getting in there was Mazraoui there, intercepting on that, but that was going right to the feet there of Mickey van der Ven. But it's instead it's a foul there on Manchester United's Manuel Ugarte, and we're going to get a free kick. We've got a comment in the comment section. Media, radio, jingles and gamings. Good afternoon. How are you? Hope you're all doing okay. Tottenham could give United a shock today. Indeed, they could. It's certainly looking that way early on, isn't it? And Mike, good afternoon. Hope you're all okay. Yes, hi, Mike. If you want to drop in your comments, please feel free to do so. We'll read them out as and when they become available. Here's Mickey van der Ven. Just drops the ball back there to Porro. Porro sends it back to Vicario. Van der Ven back to Vicario again, just outside his own 18-yard box, the Italian goalkeeper. Gives the ball there to Porro. Porro tries to play the ball forward, looking for Brennan Johnson. And Manchester United trying to win the ball back. Ugarte does well there, sends it all the way back to Matthijs de Ligt. Matthijs de Ligt drops it back to the goalkeeper, Onana. Onana, right-footed, long downfield. And in here is Rashford. Rashford with a chance to make it 1-1. Oh, super save by Vicario. That was a first breakthrough that Manchester United have had in this game. Got inside the Spurs defence as once again the high line caught out here with the ball over the top. And what a chance here for Manchester United. Vicario to the rescue, Nick.
Yes, indeed, and we all know how amazing Marcus Rashford is in front of goal, but Vicario on this occasion was even better. You really have to be smart in order to stop Marcus Rashford, and Vicario was just that.
Yes, well, it was one-on-one now. He just broke inside that Spurs defence, and you have to say that high line that Spurs are playing, they've been caught out with it a few times, and there was another example of it. Here's Solanke, and it's picked up by Johnson. Johnson releases the ball to Rodrigo Bentancur. Ball down this left-hand side to Timo Werner now. Corner of the penalty area. Werner gives it back to Maddison. Maddison, quick 1-2 with Kulusevski. Maddison with a chance to make it 2. Oh, it's a good save by Onana. But so easily Manchester United's defence split apart again there. A quick 1-2 between Kulusevski and Maddison. And in the end, it was Onana that bailed out Manchester United's defence again. And Nick, well, I got to ask you, just it's a little bit too easy for Tottenham at the moment to break open Manchester United's defence.
Yes, I would have to agree that Manchester United are making it look all too easy for Tottenham, and it was only Onana that spared their blushes. I mean, Manchester United, this is not what we used to see them playing as.
Well, some might argue it is. I mean, given the way that they have played this season, I have to say they've lacked a lot at the moment of Manchester United, particularly defensively. Both teams have. I mean, they're in 10th and 11th place. It's not what one would expect to see from these two teams. Here's Destiny Udogie down the left-hand side, trying to get away from Garnacho. Udogie gets a cross in. It's headed out that time by De Ligt and flicked on again by Kobe Mainoo, but picked up by Porro. Porro holds possession to Bentancur, to Maddison to Kulusevski. Oh, good ball to Udogie again, and it just goes over the crossbar. And well, again, Manchester United making it difficult, turning the ball over in their own half again, Nick. And well, this is really poor from Manchester United so far.
Yes, indeed it is. No shots and none on target, no touches on the opposite box. They've only had 44% possession of the ball, and this is doing Erik ten Hag no favours at all. Look at the expression on his face. He is close to angry.
Yes, well, Mike says Spurs showing they don't need Son. Well, they definitely don't. Media, radio, jingles and gaming. Tottenham have many chances at the start. Could be a thrashing from Tottenham. If Manchester United keep playing like this, it very well could be. As Manchester United try the long ball again, over the top looking for Rashford, but far too much on it this time. And it goes through to Vicario. Here's James Maddison now. Maddison plays the ball forward down the left-hand side. Chasing this one down is Timo Werner. He makes it. In front of him, he's got Mazraoui. And Werner just pulls the ball back to the corner of the penalty area and plays it back to James Maddison. Maddison quite happy to go all the way back to Vicario. Vicario is midway inside the Spurs half of the field right now, and he releases the ball to Romero. Here is Bentancur just turning away from Bruno Fernandes. Gives the ball there to Van de Ven, who flicks the ball forward, and quite happy to leave that is Matthijs de Ligt as it rolls behind for a goal kick. As we look at Ange Postecoglou, it's got to be satisfied with the start the Spurs have made. We've had 13 minutes at Old Trafford. It's a lovely afternoon for football. It's Manchester United 0, Spurs 1, and the history of this fixture. There's been so many great meetings between these two sides, but just in more recent years, in the last 10 or 20 years, have we seen Manchester United play this badly against a team like Tottenham Hotspur, Nick?
If memory serves me right, there have been a few occasions, but none so much as today.
And well, here's Garnacho. Garnacho plays the ball to Fernandes. Fernandes drops the ball back there to Mazraoui. Mazraoui picked up by Fernandes again in the centre circle. He's got options left and right. He goes down the left-hand side and picks up Marcus Rashford. Rashford tries to play the ball in the middle, but there's nobody there, and it's comfortably claimed by Guglielmo Vicario. But look at this again. It's a beautiful ball to Rashford. The build-up play there was pretty good from Manchester United, but the final ball just wasn't there, Nick.
No, it wasn't. And once again, Spurs can thank Vicario for keeping the ball out. He really is in superb goalkeeping form today.
Timo Werner gives the ball to Maddison, plays the ball into the box, hooked into the air by Alessandro Martinez. Ugarte hooks it away, and Destiny Udogie will just allow that ball to go out of play. And with 15 minutes gone, Spurs still with the lead from the goal on 3 minutes by Brennan Johnson, if you're just joining us. Set up by a brilliant move by Mickey van der Ven. Rodrigo Bentancur tries to play the ball over there to Brennan Johnson, but cutting across well is Diogo Dalla to intercept. Bruno Fernandes gives the ball to Rashford. Rashford holds the ball up. Manchester United just trying to slow the pace of the game down. Mainu. Rashford. Oh, it's a poor ball by Mainu. Rashford was not able to make it, and it goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur, as once again the United move breaks down. And, well, certainly the fans at Old Trafford have been very much silenced as it stands at the moment, because it's been a thoroughly dominant performance by Spurs in this first 15 minutes or so. The ball bounces out of play again. It's going to be another throw into Tottenham Hotspur, and Pedro Porro is just going to go over and take it just on the right-hand side, just inside his own half of the field. It drops it back to Solanke. The ball is played forward and nipped in there, and won there by Manchester United. And here's Mazraoui. Mazraoui holding the ball up inside the centre circle, gives it to Garnacho. Garnacho goes all the way back towards Andre Onana, and Onana had to make a dash to try to get there. And Onana finally releases it to Martinez. Martinez gives it to Diogo Dalla. Over the halfway line, down the left-hand side goes Diogo Dalla. He gives the ball to Rashford. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Can Rashford get the cross in? No, he runs it out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick. And once again, the attacking move breaking down that time for Manchester United, Nick.
Yes, Spurs are definitely good at breaking down the Manchester United attack. Rashford in his Rashford's attempt towards goal. He was too far. He was too far out, and that thus cost Manchester United.
And just so you know as well, we've got another game coming up for you tomorrow. South Coast Derby, Southampton versus Bournemouth. Mike Harneman will have that game for you tomorrow evening. So do join us for that one. That one is going to be a South Coast Derby. Should be a little spicy. But for now, we are concentrating on this game at Old Trafford between Manchester United and Spurs, with Spurs with the 1-goal lead. Here's Mickey van der Ven. Just inside his own half, plays it over the halfway line to James Maddison down the left-hand side. Here's Timo Werner. Good challenge by Mazraoui, but it ball bounces back to James Maddison, who gives it to Van der Ven. And then he gives it to Romero. Bentancur takes the ball back into his own half. Bentancur plays the ball long, does Bentancur, and it's right to Lisandro Martinez, and Manchester United now can break out with Bruno Fernandes over the top now to Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho down the right-hand side. Let's see what Manchester United can do here. Garnacho cuts inside, drops the ball to Mazraoui. Mazraoui's challenge there, and that's a really solid challenge by Timo Werner. And indeed, Mazraoui manages to handle the ball as well, and it's going to be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur. And the free kick is taken quickly there by Van der Ven. As here's Porro. Drops the ball back to the goalkeeper, Vicario. And Romero back to the goalkeeper. And here now is Mickey van der Ven. Van der Ven holds the ball up and plays the ball across again to Romero. Romero goes back to the goalkeeper. Spurs are just comfortable just knocking the ball around here. That's a really good ball here to Udogie. Oh, beautiful flick past Mazraoui. And now Udogie over the halfway line. He's being chased back by Mazraoui, but Udogie plays the ball across here to Kulusevski. Kulusevski into Brennan Johnson again, and oh, he hits the post. And once again, Manchester United's defence snapped in two. And, they have the ball now with Manuel Ugarte, and a handball has been given. But how brilliant was Destiny Udogie's flick past Mazraoui, set himself on his way there, gives the ball to Kulusevski. Kulusevski plays through Brennan Johnson and beats the goalkeeper, all ends up, but hits the foot of the post. Nick, another brilliant move by Spurs.
Absolutely beautiful ball control by Destiny Udogie. Flicked it to Brennan Johnson, who was always in the right place at the right time, and Johnson unlucky for the ball just to smack against the post. And once again, Manchester United's defence very lacklustre.
Well, with Spurs have got to play down here with Destiny Udogie. Jed Spencer, it's on the bench, just getting to his feet, just doing warm-ups, just in case Destiny Udogie is not able to make it back. He's just having some work done on him. So we'll just while the play is stopped, we'll just go through the result earlier on today in the Premier League. Ipswich Town against Aston Villa. It finished 2-2, surprisingly enough. Delap gave Ipswich the lead after 8 minutes, with a goal then equalised by Morgan Rogers on 15. Ollie Watkins gave Villa the lead on 32 minutes, but second goal for Delap on 72 minutes gave Ipswich a vital point. As we look again at that chance by Brennan Johnson for the goalkeeper beating all ends up, that was unlucky, wasn't it, Nick?
Yes, I would have to say that was very, very unlucky. He had good intentions, but had he aimed slightly more to his right, that could have been 2 for Spurs.
Well, it looks like the game's going to get back underway. We're not going to see a substitution. I think Jed Spence was ready to come on, but then was asked to go and sit down again, because I think Destiny Udogie is coming back on in just a moment. Here's Bruno Fernandes now for Manchester United to Garnacho. Played through there to Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo plays the ball across the 30. Oh, a super save by Vicario. Well, that was a surprise attack from Manchester United, and quite possibly the best move they've put together of the game so far. Garnacho played the ball through to Mainu. Mainu pulled the ball back to Xerxes, who was unmarked from 8 yards out, and Spurs displaying some bad defending that time, bailed out by Vicario, Nick.
That is more like it from Manchester United. Xerxes with the closest that anyone from United has come to scoring, but once again, Vicario kept it out for Spurs.
And the ball is played over the halfway line here to Udogie, and here's Werner. We're being treated to a super game here. Werner now gets into the penalty area, plays the ball across and escapes everybody, and goes all the way through to, I think in the end that was Lisandro Martinez who's got the final touch on that and got the ball away. It's a foul by Romero on Xerxes, and it's going to be a free kick, which is taken quickly over the top. And now here's Marcus Rashford. Rashford plays across towards the back post to Alejandro Garnacho. And this game is being played at 100 miles an hour, Nick. I mean, it's just incredible just how quick that move broke down for Spurs. And the ball was just lifted over the top there to Rashford. And it was Rashford's ball looking for Garnacho. Just couldn't make it there, the Argentinian. But it's really, the game is being played at an incredible pace right now.
Yes, and you'd have to wonder, are Manchester United now starting to catch up on Spurs?
Well, they're starting to perhaps catch Spurs out with that high line, as once again the ball over the top was the difference there. And here is Romero. Romero's got the ball midway inside his own half of the field, and he drops the ball there to Mickey van der Ven. Van der Ven holds the ball up, plays it into the midfield there, as it's Bentancur. Gives the ball to Werner. Werner plays it back to Van der Ven. Van der Ven across to his central defensive partner Romero. Here's Maddison. Maddison drops the ball back to Van der Ven. Van der Ven down the left-hand side there to Werner. Werner takes the ball away from Mazraoui and drops the ball back into his own half to Van der Ven again. Here is Maddison. Maddison trying to turn away from Xerxes, and Xerxes had dispossessed him, but not without fouling him. And it's going to be a free kick and a foul against the Dutchman, and a free kick for Tottenham Hotspur, as Spurs lead with 25 minutes gone at Old Trafford. But that's only half the story. We really have seen a super game so far. Both sides trying to play attacking football at the moment. And Spurs' major problem at the moment is being caught out with the ball over the top, but are still, in my opinion, Nick, the better team in this game.
Yes, I would have to agree with you. Spurs still holding on.
The ball goes through to Vicario there from Martinez, as just nearly there, Nick. Joshua Xerxes nearly stole the ball on the edge of the area. I'm sorry, I sounded like I was going to interrupt you for a moment there. Here's James Maddison. The ball is across there to Porro. Porro gives the ball to Johnson down the right-hand side. Johnson cuts in field, gives the ball to Bentancur. Now it goes back to Porro. Porro looking for the ball for Johnson, but Diogo Dallo read that very, very well. It was cleared, but only as far as Romero. Romero gives the ball back to Porro. Porro, good through ball here, and it's picked up by Dominic Solanke out on the far side. He just tries to turn away from Martinez. Oh, good work by Solanke. Drops the ball back to Porro. Bentancur. Kulishevsky. Johnson plays the ball across. Oh, great piece of defending by Mazraoui there, because right behind him was Timo Werner, ready to tap the ball in. But that was much better from Manchester United defensively there. Really good work by Mazraoui, Nick.
Yes, certainly, and that is what Manchester United need in defence. Great ball deflection by Mazraoui, and he did really well to deny Timo Werner.
And Van der Ven drops the ball back to the goalkeeper now. Vicario releases it back to Van der Ven, and Manchester United just trying to drop back a little bit here. And it's now with Brennan Johnson. Romero goes back to the goalkeeper. And it's Vicario. Vicario holds the ball up. Oh, that's a really good ball to to Kulusevski, who lays it off there. To Porro. Porro tries to find Destiny Udogie, but it's intercepted there by Garnacho. Udogie fighting to win possession back, and Manchester United turn the ball over again. It's played out to Timo Werner down the left-hand side. Werner cuts in field, drops it back to Maddison. Maddison drops the ball back there to Porro. Maddison again plays the ball across, and it's Romero. Romero lifts the ball forward, and it seems to miss everybody, and they'll go through to Andre Onana. I think he was looking really there for Kulusevski, Nick, but that just didn't find him there in the end. But Manchester United have turned the ball over again as Matthijs de Ligt this time turned the ball over to Dominic Solanke. Mazraoui came over and helped him out. The ball is out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in as Manchester United just giving the ball away too many times in their own half in this first half, and especially around the penalty area. They're asking for trouble here, Nick, you know?
Yes, I would certainly have to say so because even though Manchester United are starting to get themselves back into it defensively, I still think that the game is very much against them.
And the ball goes long clearance downfield by Vicario, only finds Matthijs de Ligt. Matthijs de Ligt uses a safe option this time and goes back to Onana. Gives it to Lisandro Martinez. Nice flick on there by Mainu, but once again United give the ball away. And it's now down the right-hand side to Brennan Johnson. Johnson tries to play the ball through to Kulusevski inside the penalty area. Kulusevski drops it back to Johnson again. Here's Maddison. Gets to the byline. Cross towards the back post, but there's nobody there that time. And Mazraoui working hard there against Timo Werner to play the ball off him and win the throw-in for Manchester United. But once again, Manchester United's defence, again, it's just not tight enough. I don't know whether they're just not concentrating or whether it's the way that the setup has been made, Nick, but they're just giving the ball away too easy. There's too much space in the penalty area. How do you think Manchester United can resolve this?
Heaven only
they've
knows,
given the ball away again. I'm so sorry, Nick. It's Maddison with the shot this time, and it was given away on the edge of the penalty area one more time, this time by Diogo Dalla, and Manchester United lucky to get away with that one, Nick.
Yes, absolutely. Very, very lucky to get away with it. That's all they appear to have. Luck when they need it.
Ugarte gives the ball there to Matthijs de Ligt. His ball only finds Bentancur. Now the ball is played through to Werner. Werner tries to get the cross in. It looks like it took a deflection there off de Ligt, and it goes all the way through to Brennan Johnson on the right-hand side. He plays a back heel against the United defender, Lisandro Martinez, and it goes out for a throw-in. It is 1-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. And, well, all I can say at the moment is that the one thing I suppose Erik ten Hag will have to look at half-time is his defence and the team, the way their distribution of the ball is severely lacking right now. Here's Kulusevski. It gets intercepted that time by Ugarte, and it's cleared forward. But again, Manchester United give the ball away. Edge of the penalty area. Kulusevski with a shot. That time it's blocked by Lisandro Martinez, but breaks loose to Timo Werner, who plays the ball back to the halfway line to Udogie, and picked up here by Rodrigo Bentancur. And, well, here's Udogie again. Udogie plays the ball back to the goalkeeper. It's a long way back to Vicario, but Vicario releases it to Romero, the other central defender. Romero's long ball over the top there to Timo Werner. That's a super ball. And now Werner storming down the left-hand side. Timo Werner trying to make his way. He tries to cut inside against Garnacho, but Garnacho reads it that time. And now Garnacho under pressure by Werner. Werner wins the ball back and gives the ball to Udogie. And here's Maddison. Maddison drops the ball back there to Van de Ven. Back to Maddison. Flicked on by Solanke. Beautiful flick on to Timo Werner. Werner now has got overlapping. He tries to find Udogie in the penalty area. Finds him with the shot. And it's blocked by Matthijs de Ligt. As it's going to be a corner to Tottenham Hotspur. And once again, Nick, Manchester United giving the ball away, this time in the midfield area. They need to start switching on here.
Yes, yes, they certainly do. The lights may be on, but there's nobody there.
Well, the corner is going to be taken down the left-hand side. Just trying to get a glimpse on who is taking that corner. Yes, it's James Maddison who's going to in-swing this one possibly. All the usual suspects in there. Johnson, Van der Ven, Solanke. It's swung in towards the back post and Brennan Johnson just heads it up into the air and it's picked up by Porro. Porro swings it back in. Oh, a super volley and it's just wide. Oh, that was so close from Romero. Let's just take a look at this again. He swings across in there and it's like a bicycle kick there by Romero. I just wonder if it came off anybody else on the way through. Doesn't look like it. But you know, Nick, Andre Onana wasn't getting there if it was on target.
No, he was certain to miss that one. And Romero, unlucky not to make it too. But Spurs are still pressurising Manchester United into making a mistake. Their defence is just so leaky.
Well, it's not getting any better now as Mazraoui has just gone very late into Destiny Udogie and has picked up the first yellow card of the game. And it's going to be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur as, Nick, another opportunity for Tottenham Hotspur to load up the penalty area.
Yes, certainly. I would think that they could get ahead if they play it right.
Well, Van Nistelrooy and Eric Ten Hag just having words on the bench right now on how they can fix this situation. The cross comes in, and just getting across well there is Lisandro Martinez, as this time Marcus Rashford gives the ball away as he was looking to break out. It's now with Brennan Johnson in front of Diogo Dalla. Johnson cuts in from the right and gets the shot away, but it's blocked. And Spurs win the ball back. And it's now with Dejan Kulusevski. Kulusevski trying to find Werner there. And finally it's cleared away. And now here is Alejandro Garnacho. A super ball by Garnacho over to the left-hand side to Xerxes. Can Manchester United do something with this now? Xerxes drops the ball back here to Dalot. Dalot gives the ball to Menu. Menu to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes swings it in towards the back post, but it's just away from Alejandro Garnacho and goes behind for a goal kick. As it's Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. We have 10 minutes to go till the break, Nick, and another move breaks down for Manchester United.
It certainly does, and Spurs are continuing to apply more pressure on them. They've already caved in once, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do so again.
And here's Martinez, just plays it to Ugarte. Ugarte drops the ball back to De Ligt. De Ligt gives the ball to Lisandro Martinez. Martinez lifts the ball over the top to the chasing Rashford, but cutting back there very, very well is Pedro Porro, and he just heads the ball back to the goalkeeper, Vicario, and he releases it to Van der Ven. And he gives the ball now to Romero. Romero just holds the ball up, looking for options left and right. There's certainly no rush for him as far as he's concerned. He goes back to Vicario, and it's released now to Van der Ven. Van der Ven plays the ball forward, looking there for Timo Werner, but Werner not able to control it, and now Manchester United have it back with Garnacho. Garnacho's away in the penalty area down the right, and the ball is pulled back, but nipping in so well there was Kulusevski to make a vital challenge there and break down that move by Manchester United. It was finally cleared away by Romero, and Manchester United now have the ball with Ugarte. Ugarte gives the ball to Fernandes. Fernandes, long ball, beautiful ball over to Marcus Rashford. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Rashford holds the ball up. And it's a good ball there to Diogo Dalla. Back to Rashford. Rashford, can he swing that cross in there towards the back post? And there's Garnacho! And he smashes it against the post! And well, that is just Manchester United's first half all over. The super cross this time by Marcus Rashford. They haven't got it right many times in this first half of Manchester United, but by goodness me, that was a super ball. And Garnacho sends his volley crashing against the post, Nick.
Yes, that was an absolutely wonderful volley by Garnacho, but but against the post, it didn't stand a chance, and Spurs still hold on to their lead.
Now a foul, and it's going to be a free kick. Foul on Dominic Solanke. He's just kind of getting himself to his feet now. By Alessandro Martinez. No further action taken by Chris Kavanagh, the referee. And we have about 7 minutes to go until half time. And so far it's been a Spurs dominated performance, I would say. They've certainly looked the better team. I mean, Manchester United have really given the ball away just too many times in this first half. They've got the ball back this time, though, and it's Joshua Zirkzee. Plays the ball forward to Garnacho. Garnacho now, corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. He tries to play the ball back through to Zirkzee, but that is a good interception by Van de Ven. And the ball is cleared forward now, and away goes Timo Werner. He's one-on-one. Can Werner make it two? Oh, a super save by Onana. And Lisandro Martinez now just getting in and making the challenge. But how quick was that breakout for Tottenham Hotspur, Nick? The ball through to Timo Werner, using his lightning pace to get through one-on-one. Good save by Andre Onana.
Werner certainly knew what he was doing, but Onana was wise to the situation and just dealt with it professionally, as any goalkeeper would.
And a foul here. Free kick. It's another yellow card. No question about that for Diogo Dalla. Pulled down Kulishevsky here. There was no attempt to win the ball. And it's a free kick for Tottenham Hotspur. And just see this again. It was a ball by Kulishevsky. Just got there first, and it was a super pass. And in the end, it was a really, really good save by Andre Onana, who's had to come to Manchester United's rescue on more than one occasion in this first half. But we're going to see the free kick now for Tottenham Hotspur, as it's over on the right-hand side, about 4 or 5 yards in from the touchline. Waiting in the penalty area there is Timo Werner. And Manchester United have lined up their defensive line on the 18-yard box, and James Maddison is going to take this free kick for Tottenham Hotspur as he swings the ball into the penalty area. Oh, Onana comes, but only fisted as far as Van de Ven. Van de Ven gets a shot, but it's blocked by Mainoo. And finally, Brennan Johnson gets in another strike, and this time Joshua Zirkzee gets on the end of it, and it goes behind for a corner, as Manchester United now desperately trying to get themselves in the shooting lanes, because Spurs seem quite happy to shoot from just about anywhere now. As the corner will take place on the right-hand side, and it's Dejan Kulusevski that's going to take it. As it's swung in, and the header is on there, and it's cleared away, and Dominic Solanke was in there, and I think it was Diogo Dalla in the end that got the touch away. Now then, it's cleared only as far as Maddison, and here's Johnson now. Kulishevsky overlapping. Oh, Johnson may have played the wrong ball there, but it's won back this time. And the ball is played by Romero, but Romero is dispossessed now by Zirkzee. Manchester United looking to catch Spurs on the break. Rashford plays the ball to Bruno Fernandes. United a bit slow there to catch Spurs that time. But Fernandes plays the ball through to Mainoo. Mainoo tries to slip the ball through to Alejandro Garnacho, but it's good interception by Romero. And it's going to be a free kick. Oh, a red card! Oh, my goodness me, a red card! It's getting worse for Manchester United. I need to have a look at this again. I don't see where the red card came from here, but we're going to take a look at that. But it's a red card for Manchester United. It's a straight red. And I'm just trying to see who that was actually against. I think that might be against the captain, Fernandes. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. Oh, that's a red card. Nick, the studs were up by Fernandes there. Look at that. Straight down the side of his leg. And a red card for Bruno Fernandes. That was reckless, wasn't it?
That looked very painful on James Maddison, and Bruno Fernandes, I'd say he deserved that red card. But Manchester United's defence and performance has been like a car with an oil leak, and and it's now become a major oil leak.
Well, it's a real problem now for Manchester United as things going from bad to worse with the sending off of Bruno Fernandes. He's in complete disagreement with him, but when you go in with your studs up like that, actually looking at it, Nick, I don't think the connection was too bad. I just think he'd ran those studs down the side of the leg of James Maddison, and you can't do that. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble when you go in with your studs up like that and you run your studs then down the legs of the player. And he's going to hand the captain's armband. Just trying to see who he's handing the captain's armband to. He's giving it to Nusayr Mazraoui. Or it's Mazraoui. I don't know if Mazraoui is going to pass it on, but it's a red card. And the referee had little to no option, in my opinion. Be interesting to hear everybody else's opinion who's listening. Feel free to comment. But that is wow. That is reckless from Bruno Fernandes. As a captain, Nick, I don't think that's something that I don't think that's something that should happen. Mason Mount is coming on now for Manchester United. We'll get your thoughts in a moment. And we're just going to see who it is that's making way. I suspect it might be yes, it's Kobe Mainu who's making way, and on 44 minutes, and Mason Mount is going to be coming on in his stead. But Nick, from a captain perspective, that really shouldn't happen, should it? It's reckless. His team is already 1-0 down.
Yes, that's right. And you just cannot set an example like that as a captain with all that responsibility. And this will haunt him, I'm sure, for a long, long time.
Here is Romero to Maddison. Maddison, midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. It's Destiny Udogie. And here's Werner. Werner just tries to play the ball through to Kulusevski. Kulusevski plays the ball off De Ligt. We're going to see that substitution now. Mainu goes off and Mason Mount comes on. Might be interesting to see. I mean, this is right on half time as well. This completely messes with all of Erik ten Hag's ideas for the second half, plans that he might have set up for the second half when you're 1-0 down. Here's Timo Werner. He plays the ball forward there looking for Solanke. That was a good challenge by Martinez. And there is Garnacho. Garnacho plays the ball forward there to Ugarte. Ugarte's ball goes straight to Romero, and here's Porro. Porro now plays the ball down the right-hand side, and it's Kulusevski into Johnson. Back to Kulusevski, but played too close to Ugarte, who tries to clear the ball away from Brennan Johnson, and Johnson goes down and picks up the ball, believing he'd been fouled. And a yellow card has been issued to Brennan Johnson for handling the ball. He actually believed he'd been fouled there, but not according to the referee. And we've got 5 minutes stoppage time at the end of this first half, Nick. We're going to get your first half assessment in just a few moments' time. The ball is cleared downfield, and it's dropped there to Joshua Zirkzee, and Zirkzee comes off him and goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur. And penny for his thoughts. Erik ten Hag looking on, and you've got to wonder what's going through his mind, Nick.
Yeah, I'm sure he's feeling a mixture of emotions right now. Disgruntled, furious, unhappy, his furrowed brow. It's just not going right for him.
Here's Maddison. Plays the ball across to Porro. Maddison plays the ball to Kulusevski. Kulusevski holds the ball up and plays it down the right-hand side to Timo Werner. Werner. He's got two United players in front of him. One of them is Mazraoui. The cross to the back post looking for Johnson is over his head. Johnson goes down. He's claiming he was fouled. The referee's having none of it. It's back with Bentancur. Bentancur to Porro. Back to Bentancur. and he drops the ball back to Romero. It's a good ball to Bentancur, to Udogie. Van de Ven. Madison plays the ball down the right-hand side to Johnson again. Quick 1-2 with Porro. And it goes all the way back to the halfway line to Romero again. Releases the ball there to Madison. Madison tries to play a through ball there, but that was read well by Diogo Dalla. And now here's Mason Mount. And he tried to set off Joshua Zirkzee. Zirkzee was unable to keep possession of the ball as he tried to play Manchester United, tried to play Rashford through there, but that was a comfortable dispossession by Spurs as well there. Here's Destiny Udogie. The Bentancur gets clattered that time by Mason Mount, and he's only just come on as a substitute, and he is going to get a yellow card as well. This Manchester United at this point, Nick, need to calm down. That was an unnecessary challenge.
Yes, it certainly was, and I have no idea why Mason Mount complained about it. I think the referee rightly told him to zip it.
Well, free kick taken quickly, and Bentancur. It now goes back to Romero. Romero now plays the ball to Porro. And drops the ball back to Romero. Romero to Van de Ven. Van de Ven down the left-hand side to Timo Werner. Werner, oh, nice ball to Destiny Udogie. The Italian has got a bit of space here, but he drops the ball back to Timo Werner. Werner plays the ball across the width of the pitch there. And now it's with Romero. Romero, options left and right. He decides to find Johnson. And it's won back by Mason Mount, but he only returns the ball to Johnson. And Johnson drops the ball back to Romero again. Spurs will be happy to keep possession as we're in the last minute of the minimum of 5 minutes in this first half. And here's Romero. Gives the ball to Porro. Porro to Johnson. Johnson just trying to skip away from Dallo. Johnson, good ball there through to Kulusevski. And well, he was looking for Solanke, but Lisandro Martinez read that very, very well. And now Manchester United are on the break with Mason Mount. And down the right-hand side is Garnacho, but cutting across brilliantly with the challenge is Mickey van der Ven, putting that ball out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in level with the Spurs penalty area, which Garnacho was going to take. He's now going to leave for Mazraoui. And I don't know whether Mazraoui is going to go for a long one. In fact, no, he goes short to Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt finds Lisandro Martinez. Good ball over to the left-hand side. And it's Marcus Rashford. And that's it. It is half-time. Well, an early goal by Brennan Johnson on 3 minutes, delivered from Mickey van der Ven. But that's only half the story. Bruno Fernandes sent off for a reckless challenge there on James Maddison on 42 minutes. And at half-time at Old Trafford, it's Tottenham Hotspur with a 1-goal lead. But Nick, let's have your first half assessment.
Absolutely terrible performance in defence by Manchester United. Tottenham really on a roll throughout the first half. Even though Manchester United managed to keep the score down, Spurs just kept on attacking, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get in more in the second half.
Thank you very much, Nick. So half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Tottenham 1. Russ, back to you.
Thank you very much, Paul and Nicholas. And Nicholas, just before you go, my friend, just want to ask you a quick question on Manchester United. And where do you think Erik ten Hag will have to change things now? He's already lost Kobe Mainoo due to injuries. Lost Bruno Fernandes to the stupidity of the red card. What do you think Manchester United need to do to change things to get back into this game before Spurs completely run away with victory this afternoon?
I think Erik ten Hag is going to have to bring on the likes of Anthony. Is going to have to bring on the likes of Anthony and Højlund, and just basically do whatever he can and get those subs on as soon as possible. As for the defence, it doesn't need switching. It needs a major overhaul and servicing, just like just like your car when it has to go into the garage for repairs.
Yes, thank you very much, Nicholas. Great work alongside pulling that first off, and we'll have Nicholas on board back with us in plenty of time for the start of the second half. Let me quickly run you through all of the other Premier League scores from this weekend so far, starting off on Saturday afternoon. Newcastle United 1, Manchester City 1, Arsenal 4, Leicester City 2, Brentford 1, West Ham United 1, Chelsea 4, Brighton Hove Albion 2, Everton 2, Crystal Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 0, Fulham 1, Liverpool 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Liverpool 2, should I say, and in the early kick-off today, Ipswich Town 2, Aston Villa 2. And tomorrow night, as Mike already mentioned, he'll be bringing you coverage of Bournemouth against Southampton. Kick-off is at 8 o'clock UK time tomorrow evening, maybe tomorrow afternoon, depending where you are, or maybe even tomorrow morning, or it could even be Tuesday morning, depending where you are in the world. Right now, so it could be Monday morning for you. Right now, and if you are, a very good morning to you, or very good evening, or good afternoon from wherever you are across the world. Russ Venner here in the presenting chair this afternoon, and we're bringing Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League today. Let me quickly run you through some of the other scores from today so far, and then we'll get the thoughts of media, radio, jingles, and gaming. It was just put a comment in the comment section regarding Manchester United in the live chat. Let's bring you the championship score from today in the Seven-Day Derby between Swansea City and Bristol City. That finished in a 1-1 draw in that one. Benka Bango opened the scoring for Swansea for Jason Knight, levelled with 14 minutes to go to get Bristol City a point. At the Swansea.com Stadium, was also formerly known as the Liberty Stadium to you and I, was now known as the Swansea.com Stadium. There's some FA Cup action. Biggleswade FC beat Canvey Island by a goal to nil as they progress to the next round of the competition, which is the first round proper. The draw for that is coming up in the next, I think it's tomorrow evening. The draw for that one coming up for the first round proper in the FA Cup may be, or it might be being delayed by a week to give you the first round proper for the FA Cup draw. As soon as we know when the draw is, we'll bring you the draw here live on the commentary for you guys to have a listen to let you know who's got to in the first round of the FA Cup. So Women's Super League action taking place today. Manchester City 1, Brighton Hove Albion 0, Everton 0, Manchester United 1, Leicester 0, Arsenal 1, West Ham United 1, Liverpool 1, and at half time it's Aston Villa 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. So both the men's and women's side for Tottenham are leading at half time in their games. In the Women's Championship, Blackburn 0, Charlton 2, Durham 1, Birmingham City 0, Portsmouth 0, Newcastle United 2, Southampton 2, Sheffield United 0, Sunderland 1, London City Lionesses 0. In the French League A, Toulouse 1, Lyon 2, Angers 0, Reims 2 is the latest score, as is Nantes 2, Saint Etienne 2. In the German Bundesliga, full-time score, Ostel Kiel 2, Eintracht Frankfurt 4, and Offenheim 3. Werder Bremen 3 is a half-time score, with Offenheim down to 10 men in the German Bundesliga. In the Italian Serie A, Torino 2, Lazio 3, AS Roma 2, Venezia 1, Como 3, Hellas Verona 2. Hellas Verona down to 10 men in that game. Empoli 0, Fiorentina 0 in the latest score in that game in the Italian Serie A after 26 minutes there. In the Dutch Eredivisie, Pek Zwolle 1, Almere City 0, Groningen 0, Go Ahead Eagles 1, FC Twente 1, NAC Brada 0, KKK Valvik 0, Ajax 1 on 84 minutes there. In the Scottish Premiership today. Rangers 1, Hibernia 0 is a full-time score. In La Liga, Celta Vigo 1, Girona 1, Athletic Club 1, Sevilla 1, Real Betis and Espanyol kick off in a couple of minutes' time. And the big one this evening in La Liga is the Madrid derby. Atletico taking on Real. Kick off for that one is at 8 o'clock this evening. I will keep you up to date with that one as on our socials later on this evening. With that one will bring you the half-time and full-time score in that one, plus also the team news for the Madrid derby later on this evening. Some great, maybe the fourth qualifying round next, Nicholas. We'll get confirmation of that one, but we've got the draw coming up very, very shortly. We'll have the draw for that on our channels as well, but we'll keep you up to date with that one. I can tell you when the first round draw is not till the 14th of October, should I say. So a long way off for that at this moment in time. We'll bring you that one then. Draw will take place around about 7 o'clock on the 14th of October. As Nicholas rightly pointed out, the fourth qualifying round is next up, and we'll bring you the draw for that on our socials, not live here on the channels. We'll get everything on the channels from the first round draw onwards, and that's when our FA Cup coverage will start in the first round proper. So we've got some FA Cup matches to look forward to later on this season. So far here on the commentary hub, to go along with our Premier League coverage and also our Football League coverage as well. Great to have Nicholas along with us on this coverage this afternoon. He's making his Premier League commentary debut this afternoon. He's worked on the Premier League before in the presenter's chair. He's now moved to the commentary box and doing fantastic work alongside Paul James this afternoon. Flawless as ever. You didn't think that today would be his first time doing the Premier League coverage and commentaries here with us on the commentary since he joined us. And what an addition Nicholas has been, and not just Nicholas, but everyone has been laboured throughout the years that we've started since February 2021, so 2021, during the lockdown, during the COVID era, and then beyond, and just gone bigger and better. We've already been on air over 3 years now, coming towards our fourth year, and we're looking forward to going even bigger and better. And the graphics are just going to be improving year on year, as we can see here as well. So some big news, and so we'll have all the FA Cup coverage from the 14th of October on the channels, and we'll keep you up to date with the other result draws when they will do very, very soon as well. Alongside me again, we've still got Nicholas Jones alongside us, and Paul James is back with us as well now. And we'll come to you first, Nicholas, on this topic I'm going to ask you right now. And looking at the first half performance from Tottenham Hotspur, you would have to say Ange Postecoglou would be very, very happy with his side. Do you think it would be, whether it would be happy with his performance, would you be asking for more in the final third, where you would likely see more goals and attempts coming from?
I think Postecoglou is going to keep on. I think Postecoglou will be motivating the team to progress even further in the second half. It's not a case of, oh, that was great, just keep doing what you're doing. No, he's going to be more motivational than that.
Yes, and Paul, would you agree with Nicholas there, or would you think Ange Postecoglou would be saying to his players at half time?
Well, obviously, I think he'll be very happy with the performance, but I think he'll want a second goal. He's going to want to try to nail this game, because at 1-0, you just never know. We've seen it so many times that Ange Postecoglou at the moment, they've had these chances in the first half. He's going to want to double, perhaps even treble the lead against a 10-man Manchester United that is frankly looking very disorganised right now.
Yes, absolutely. Nick, Paul's just said there, Manchester United looking very disorganised so far. Would you agree with that? And what do you think Eric Ten Hag could be saying to his team at the break?
I dread to think what he'd be saying. But Paul's right. They certainly have been. But Paul's right. They certainly have been disorganised, and it won't be just. And he'll be hoping that the defence in the second half won't be just a patch up and mend job. It'll be the result of a complete overhaul.
Yes, and when you look at you say the complete overall, it can't really change the entire back four because not got enough defenders on there to change the entire back four, and on there he's only got two centre backs. Obviously, Mazzuari is on that yellow card, Nicholas, and so is Diego Del. So you can't really change the two full backs. He hasn't got the full backs. Mohamed's got the two centre backs. The only way potentially do it if you just to a back four of full backs, which sometimes of centre backs, I say, which doesn't seem to work. And for me, I don't think Manchester United have got the balance right on the bench. They've got two defenders, three midfielders, three strikers. For me, that's maybe my opinion. You can have your say in a second, but for me, I think when you look at it, I know Spurs have got two defenders, four midfielders, five midfielders, and a striker there as well. But Manchester United, if I know you can't plan for yellow cards, but you know that they're coming up against speedy wingers in Johnson, who'd have probably thought Son, obviously Werner, good replacement for Son. They expect to put some cover a fullback on the bench in case of situations like what occurred in the first half with yellow cards to both fullbacks, Nick. Would you agree with that sentiment there?
I'm gonna have to rethink things here because, as you mentioned, they haven't got because as you mentioned that they because you mentioned Eric Ten Hag can't do much to alter the back line. It kind of now depends on whether Mazraoui and Dalot behave themselves in the second half. Obviously on yellow cards. So if he can't make that many changes, then I'm afraid the Red Devils are doomed in the second half.
Yes, absolutely, Nicholas, absolutely. And just want to quickly get your thoughts, Nick. And I know you mentioned it in commentary as well, but Bruno Fernandes, it was silly to do that challenge, wasn't it? And put his side under a lot of pressure, being a man down now against this, especially fast-paced Tottenham front line. You look at it and you can see that they've got pace in there, Johnson, Werner, not only from those but from Kulusevski and Madison, Dugin, Porro as well. So there's pace all across that back line and in that Tottenham side, isn't it, Nicholas?
Yes, it certainly is, and Jed Spence coming on for Tottenham just before the start of the second half.
Yes, and with news of that substitution for Tottenham Hotspur and news of a substitution from Manchester United as well. Then hand you back over to your match commentary team. It's Nicholas Jones, but first, Paul James.
Thank you, Russ. Welcome back, everybody. So, yes, we'll just touch on the Manchester United substitution first. Casemiro has come on for Joshua Zirkzee, and Jed Spence has come on at half-time as well. And I'll just trying to get you who he has come on for. Let's take a look here. So Destiny Udogie has come off. Quite surprised by that, Nick.
Yes, very surprised. Yes, a very much a surprise move by Ange Postecoglou. Udogie was absolutely amazing in the first half. Should have kept him on.
Just wonder whether he might have picked up a knock because he was injured early on in the game, wasn't he? And Jed Spencer, substitute, nearly came on at that point. So I'm just wondering at this point whether Ange Postecoglou is just taking him off just for purposes of peace of mind and just resting him not to take any risks. But we'll see. Here is there's Mazraoui. He drops the ball back there to De Ligt. De Ligt gives the ball to Martinez. Martinez now dropped back to Rashford, who gives the ball to Mazraoui. Mazraoui plays the ball over the halfway line to Rashford. Rashford tried to drop the ball back to Casemiro, and Casemiro was fouled by James Maddison, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. Taken quickly, and here's Diogo Dalot down the left-hand side here. Dalot releases the ball to the number 17, the number 17 for Manchester United, Garnacho. Garnacho launches the ball forward over the halfway line, and it's cleared away by Jed Spence. And now Tottenham can come on the break, and it's Brennan Johnson over the halfway line. It's an inspired run by Johnson, the penalty area. Can he get across it? That's Johnson! It's 2-0! It's actually Kulusevski who actually got the final touch, but that came almost as quickly as the goal in the first half. And Tottenham double their lead with Manchester United caught cold once again. And well, Nick, what do you think about that?
That is surely it for the match. Superb delivery by Brennan Johnson and Kulusevski. Lovely little dink with his left foot in the air, and straight in it went. But if Manchester United keep playing as they are, everyone in the Manchester United stands are probably just going to go home.
Well, again, it really was Manchester United caught out again in the midfield, and the cross came in. It took a deflection and bounced very kindly for Kulusevski. You can see Johnson there just takes a deflection off Martinez, and it found very kindly for Kulusevski, who just got a touch on it with his left foot and diverted it past Onana. It's a really nice finish by Kulusevski, it has to be said. And, well, it's 2-0. And, you have to wonder about Erik ten Hag's position at Old Trafford, given the way things are going. It's a shocking performance, this, by United so far. And, well, it might be worth just, to be honest with you, Nick, it might be worth my Sunday evening entertainment tuning into some of the angry Manchester United reactions on YouTube. I might do that later. Here is Van de Ven. Van de Ven gives the ball there to Jed Spence. Spence drops the ball back to Van de Ven. And it's across here to Romero. Romero over the halfway line, drops the ball down to Porro. Porro lifts the ball over the top. Oh, and Martinez just gets a touch there, but it goes all the way through to Onana, and he picks the ball up. And, well, at this point, Nick, Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says that's it, game over for Manchester United. I don't think they'll come back with 10 men. You agree with that, Nick?
That is, he is echoing what I said not 2 minutes ago. Great minds think alike, so they say.
Right, and the ball is picked up inside his own half by Christian Romero, and Romero gives the ball to Mickey Van de Ven. Van de Ven plays the ball over the halfway line. It's a really good ball here to Werner. Werner just trying to get away from Mazraoui. Mazraoui just trying to cut away from Werner. Now he wins the ball back well, does Mazraoui. And it's picked up now by Casemiro. Drops the ball back to Mazraoui again. And then cleared away by Matthijs de Ligt. Only as far as Rodrigo Bentancur, as this game now has taken, really continued the way it had at the end of the first half. And here is Van de Ven. As Manchester United are now at this point being pressed back into their own half. Here's Romero, gives the ball back to Van de Ven. Good ball to Maddison. Maddison gives the ball to Jed Spence. Spence storming forward now over the halfway line. Here goes Jed Spence. Can he get the cross in? Oh, he can. And it goes over everybody's head, only as far as Porro. Porro holds the ball up here, gets to the byline, swings the cross in, but Andre Onana is there. And it seems to me, Nick, that every time Spurs come forward, they look like they're going to score.
Yes, indeed it does. They've looked very dangerous throughout this game, and that goal from Kulusevski certainly confirmed that.
Well, it's picked up in the middle of the park here by Bentancur. Just dropped back here to Romero, who gives it to Van de Ven. Van de Ven gives the ball back to Romero. Romero sets Kulishevsky off on his way over the halfway line. And it's given to the number 23, Pedro Porro. Porro to Van de Ven. Van de Ven gives the ball to Jed Spence. Spence plays the ball forward to Werner. Does a quick change up with Jed Spence in the penalty area. Spence goes down and no claim. Well, there's mild claims from the Spurs players, but Jed Spence went down. Mild claims to Chris Kavanagh, but I don't think that was a penalty at all, Nick.
No, far from it. A penalty needs to. The reasons for a penalty need to be a bit more. Needs to be a bit more extreme and forceful. But I'd have to agree with what the referee said. No penalty.
And it's a throw in to Tottenham Hotspur. There was only mild. Inquiries by the Spurs players. Really, it wasn't. Normally, sometimes you can kind of tell when it's a genuine penalty. You see the players all just basically waving their arms and screaming at the top of their voices. This was just a sort of mild inquiry by the Spurs players, as picked up here by Bentancur. Good ball to Porro. Porro's got Johnson overlapping. He sets him on his way. Brennan Johnson down the right hand side. Brennan Johnson trying to get to the byline, and it's back with Kulishevsky, and there's Porro with a shot, and it's directly at Andre Onana, as once again Spurs just catching Manchester United out right now. And this one to Porro, well, he got in between the two defenders, didn't he, Nick?
Yes, he did go in between. Yes, he did go in between the two defenders, but at the moment Spurs still managing to keep their lead.
Well, it's 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur, and Manchester United now, well, they really have some issues to deal with as it stands now. But you can see here that Jed Spence, well, since he's come on, he's been very effective, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, he certainly has, but unfortunately he has picked up a yellow card only a couple of moments ago. I think he got into a bit of an incident with Mazzari. What actually happened or not, I don't know. But regardless, he has been absolutely incredible, just like the rest of the team.
And there's a good ball from Porro into the middle of the park to Maddison, and Maddison is fouled by Lisandro Martinez, who goes into the referee's notebook. The third Manchester United player to get a yellow card. As you can see here, he goes in there very late. Definite yellow card in my mind. Don't think you can argue with it. It's well late. And Lisandro Martinez just arguing with not the referee, but one of the Spurs players. I think he should just get on with it because they're already down to 10 men. They certainly don't want to drop down to 9. Here is Romero with a free kick. It's inside the centre circle for Tottenham Hotspur, and the ball is played out on the left-hand side to Jed Spence, who drops the ball to Timo Werner. He gives the ball to Van de Ven. Van de Ven lifts the ball over the top of the United defence to Werner again. He gets in the penalty area, but Mazraoui cutting across, getting the clearance away. And it was off Werner and goes behind. Nick, your thoughts on Mazraoui? I think he's probably been maybe the only Manchester United defender that can come out of this with any kind of credibility.
You'd have to say so as well. But regardless, he's not converted it into anything.
Well, the ball is over the top there, it's cleared downfield over the top, and it's headed back to the goalkeeper by Bentancur. He picks still in his own penalty area. He picks up the ball and clears it forward to Dejan Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky now over the halfway line, storming forward. Oh, he's got options left and right, and it's through to Werner. He's one-on-one. Super save, but here's Solanke, and another super save by Andre Onana. Well, it could have been so much worse for Manchester United. A fantastic double save here. Kulishevsky played a super through ball to Timo Werner, and he's onside, and it's a really good save as he tried to slide it under the Cameroon international, and then Solanke tried to follow up on the rebound, but a really, really good double save, Nick.
Was that wonderful or what? Great attacking play by Spurs, but Onana, but it was just Onana to the rescue that kept it out. Had one of the moves by Spurs actually worked, they could well have been 3-0 up.
Oh, well, here is Kulishevsky again, storming forward. This time he's dispossessed, and Casemiro has the ball for Manchester United. Releases it to Rashford, who gets over the halfway line, rarely for Manchester United in this second half. And here is... you can just see that is Dominic Solanke just going down, but manages to keep possession and gives the ball to Kulusevski, who drops it back to Romero. Romero to Bentancur. Bentancur to Van de Ven, across to Jed Spence. Storming forward again is Jed Spence. And he holds the ball up and gives the ball to James Maddison. Maddison gets the ball, does a quick 1-2 with Rodrigo Bentancur. It's now dropped back with Van de Ven. Van de Ven into the centre circle there to the number 17, Christian Romero. Romero to Bentancur, to Van de Ven. And again, Spurs now, for them, it's just game management at this time. Keeping possession, making Manchester United do all the running. Here's Van de Ven. Good ball out to the left-hand side there to Timo Werner, who's been very impressive in this game himself. Here is Maddison. Maddison just trying to turn away from Casemiro, and that's a foul by Casemiro and a free kick for the foul on James Maddison. And Spurs will once again have a chance to get men forward. As we're looking at the shots on target in the second half, it's 4 for Spurs, 4 attempts, 4 on target, none for Manchester United. Manchester United have had no possession touches in Spurs' box, and possession-wise are being 67 to 33%. It is not looking good for Manchester United at all here, as Christian Romero holds the ball up, gives the ball there to Van de Ven. Van de Ven plays the ball forward to Maddison, gets the ball back, and you can see Casemiro trying to track Maddison. It's Maddison again. Ball was played forward to Maddison, but Lisandro Martinez nips in there and plays the ball out wide now to the left-hand side to Garnacho, who switched from the right to the left. Garnacho now is going to attacking the touchlines, tries to get the cross in, but that takes a deflection off Porro and goes behind for a corner. And Manchester United, a rare break towards the Spurs penalty area, Nick.
Yes, that's right. So certainly a good break towards the penalty area.
Well, going to see the corner now. It's going to be Mason Mount that's going to take it. Got players in the box there. Just waiting for this corner to come in. And it just goes off Kulishevsky and goes out again for another corner. As Manchester United will get another chance as this one swings in. Kulishevsky just gets a shoulder to that as it goes wide. The corner is going to be taken again. We've hit the hour mark here. It's Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. It's swung in and headed out there by Christian Romero, only as far as Garnacho. Garnacho plays the ball to Rashford. Corner in the penalty area, right-hand side. Rashford swings it in. The ball breaks loose for Casemiro, and he pulls it back there to Martinez with a shot. But it's just wide. Well, Manchester United nearly got themselves right back in this game there, Nick.
Yes, it was very. They very nearly almost did it through. They very nearly almost did it through Lisandro Martinez, but the luck is still against Manchester United.
Well, they're probably going to. You just see the ball bounce off the hand of Christian Romero, but I don't think that could possibly be given a penalty. He had his arm by his side, but Garnacho was appealing. But not VAR didn't even bother looking at it, and Casemiro plays it down the right-hand side to Ugarte. Ugarte drops the ball back. It's swung in again and headed out by Romero, only as far as Dallo. Dallo tries to play the ball through to Garnacho. Garnacho chasing it, but he loses control, and it goes behind for a goal kick as Alejandro Garnacho looking very frustrated with himself there. But you can see the look on Eric Ten Hag's face. This almost looks like the face of a defeated man.
Yes, indeed. I don't think. Yes, indeed. I don't think he has any more emotions to show for it, and the Manchester United fans clearly upset. It'll probably turn to anger very soon.
And the ball is cleared forward, but it's won back there by De Ligt, who launches the ball back into the Spurs penalty area. But De Ligt appears to have been fouled, and Chris Kavanagh has given a free kick. I'm not entirely sure that's from the right position at all. And Chris Kavanagh pulls the ball back, and Mason Mount is now going to take the free kick. And you can see the Manchester United fans trying to get behind their team, attacking the Stretford end in the second half. It's swung in by Mount and headed out by Kulusevski, only as far as Mazraoui. Mazraoui launches the ball towards the left-hand side. Lisandro Martinez chasing it. Tracking him is Pedro Porro. Martinez gives the ball back there to De Ligt. And it's Mazraoui now plays the ball to Martinez again. Martinez tries to swing the ball and it goes over everybody's head, and nipping in really well there to make the challenge was Brennan Johnson. That was a vital challenge, because waiting there behind him was Alejandro Garnacho to get his foot on that. But Brennan Johnson, great work by him, Nick.
Yes, absolutely. Superb ball control by the Welsh international.
Well, it's going to be a corner for Manchester United as we have a period of Manchester United pressure here. Garnacho swings the ball in. It's headed wide by Casemiro. Probably one of the smallest men on the pitch, Casemiro, and he's certainly very good in the air despite his stature. But he headed that one, directed that ball wide. As we have 22 minutes to go. And just as a reminder, Nick, my friend, you have it's incumbent upon you to pick the player of the match today. Might be interesting to see who you choose. But it's a free kick to Manchester United, a foul on Lisandro Martinez by Dominic Solanke. Dominic Solanke doesn't think so, but the free kick is going to be taken nevertheless, as it's about 40 yards out, and Mason Mount is standing over this one, as Manchester United much more improved in the last sort of 5-10 minutes or so with this period of possession and pressure as they continue to try to keep this on. As it's Mason Mount now is going to take the free kick. He's going to probably just lift this into the penalty area. He does towards the back post, but up comes Vicario and claims that with authority. And he releases the ball quickly now to Jed Spence. Now, can Spurs catch Manchester United on the break again? Here's Spence. Plays the ball forward to Werner. Werner plays the ball into Maddison. Maddison plays the ball over the top, looking for Solanke. It's good work by Rashford, just shielding the ball away from Solanke. But it's actually been given as a free kick. It looks like he might have been in an offside position. Dominic Solanke, as Matthijs de Ligt there. He's had his hands full today, Nick.
Yes, he certainly has, and this could well be, and this has well been a tricky afternoon for De Ligt.
And Kulusevski breaking away down the right-hand side. He goes down, and it's going to be another free kick and another yellow card for Manchester United. And it's this time it is Manuel Ugarte, is the fourth Manchester United player in the referee's book for yellow. And again, it was a clumsy sort of challenge by Manuel Ugarte. It's obviously he feels he needed to take one for the team, but a clumsy sort of a challenge and a yellow card. And it's a free kick for Tottenham Hotspur that's level with the Manchester United 6-yard box. And down the right-hand side, James Maddison and Kulusevski are all standing over this. Porro is in the box there. And he's likely to be joined as well by Dominic Solanke, yes. And Rodrigo Bentancur and Christian Romero are all in there looking to get on the end of Madison's free kick. It was taken short to Kulishevsky. Kulishevsky tried to lift the ball into the penalty area, but it was headed out by Rashford. Only as far as Brennan Johnson. It's dropped back to Jed Spence. Former Nottingham Forest players, both of them, of course. It's back into their own half of the field and all the way back to the goalkeeper. As Vicario now just holds the ball up. It's really by Vicario. He hasn't had much to do at all in this game, but what he has done, he's done very, very well. Vicario releases the ball to Madison. Madison now turns and tries to get over the halfway line, but that's a really good challenge by Mazraoui. Sorry, I pronounced the name wrong. Mazraoui. And it's a throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur. And it's going to be taken here by Porro, just down this left-hand side. As Manchester United now trying to get one goal. One goal would really lift their spirits, I think, and would really open this game up. So that's a good ball by Kulusevski as far as Jed Spence, almost covered the full width of the pitch. Jed Spence plays the ball there to Timo Werner. Werner getting to the corner of the penalty area. Can he get the cross in, Werner? Oh, it's too close to Andre Onana. And that move breaks down for Tottenham Hotspur. But you can see, Nick, just as the second half has progressed a little bit, Manchester United getting back into it, trying to create chances, trying to force the issue a little bit in this game.
Well, if they want something out of this, then I'd say now is the time to get back into it. But have they left it too late? Quite possibly.
Well, foul by Mickey van der Ven, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United, midway inside their own half of the field. Here's Casemiro, Martinez. He's got options to the left-hand side. Finds Diogo Dalot. Diogo Dalot lifts the ball over the top, looking for Garnacho. Garnacho cuts into the penalty area. He clashes there with Porro, but no penalty claims, nothing there. Porro plays the ball forward to Johnson. Johnson pulls the ball back to Madison. Madison to Kulishevsky. Beautiful outside of the ball, outside of the foot pass, but it's intercepted that time by Mazraoui. And the ball is lifted over the top there by Rashford to Mazraoui. But cutting across and defending very, very well was Jed Spencer. Great challenge. And we're going to see a substitute for Manchester United coming on shortly. See action on the bench there. It looks like Rasmus Højlund may be making an appearance. Lisandro Martinez launches the ball into the box and Casemiro! Oh, it just whistles wide of the post. And Manchester United's best chance of the second half right there. You see the ball there just finds, lifted over the top there. In fact, I think it was by, it was by Martinez to Casemiro. Vicario beating all ends up, Nick. United close there.
Yes, it appears that they are starting to get closer, and I may well have to eat my words saying that they may have left it too late.
Well, that was an opportunity for Casemiro, but it went wide. And here's Madison. Madison just drops the ball back to the number 17 there, Romero. And across to Mickey van der Ven. Van der Ven gets the ball back off Jed Spence. Still 2-0 to Spurs. We've got 20 minutes left to go at Old Trafford, and it's looking... although Manchester United are piling on a little bit of pressure and have had one or two half chances and a good chance by Casemiro. So far the score is still 2-0 and time is ticking down at Old Trafford. Here is Porro. And picked up there by Madison. Madison back to Porro. Gives the ball to Romero. Romero nearly gives the ball away. In fact, it was won back by Manchester United. It's Martinez. And he gives the ball to Rashford. Now down to Garnacho, down the left-hand side. Garnacho cuts back and gives the ball to Dalot. Dalot to Rashford. Rashford drops the ball back to Martinez. Martinez into the centre circle to Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt lifts the ball over the top. That's a really good ball to Garnacho. Garnacho cutting towards the corner of the penalty. Oh, fine challenge that time by Johnson, but Johnson treads on the ball and falls over. He finds Rashford. Rashford now tries to give the ball to Garnacho. Garnacho not able to get the cross in. The clearance only finds Manuel Ugarte, though, and gives the ball to Rashford again. And Rashford gives the ball back to Ugarte. And time ticking down here at Old Trafford. Ugarte plays the ball forward to the number 18, Casemiro. He gives the ball there to Garnacho. Garnacho back to Martinez. Martinez with a shot, and it's blocked. And now Spurs can break out with Timo Werner storming over the halfway line, but nobody is up there with him at the moment. He's going to have to try to hold that ball up. And Timo Werner just taking it to the corner, but Werner now has got help in the penalty area now. It's pulled back by Werner, but it's behind Solanke and Maddison. And in the end, it comes to naught. But really, that was a bright opportunity for Spurs, Nick.
Yes, it certainly was a great opportunity for them. Solanke, we know what he's capable of, having scored against Brentford last week. But like you say, it just came to nothing.
And Garnacho now down the left-hand side. He cuts inside, gets a shot away, and it's blocked and goes behind for a corner. And it looks like it came off Romero there, who got the block on that, and it's going to be a corner. We're going to see a double substitution for Manchester United. It's Højlund and Eriksen. So we're just trying to see who's coming off for Manchester United. Let's take a look and see that. Well, one of them is Rashford. We'll just take a look and see who the other one is in a moment. Yes, it's Rashford and Ugarte that have come off for Manchester United. And on is Eriksen and Højlund. So that's second and third. That's a third and fourth substitution. It's now cleared out from the corner. And here is Timo Werner. Werner just trying to get away from Christian Eriksen. Good work by Eriksen. The ball breaks loose now to Dalot. And it's Eriksen again. He's got Ugarte down the left-hand side. Garnacho just trying to get away from Pedro Porro there. Closing up as well is Brennan Johnson. And finally it goes behind, and another yellow card has been issued. This time on Pedro Porro. It's going to be a free kick for the foul by Porro. He just cuts across on Garnacho. So it is a yellow card for Pedro Porro. And Manchester United, well, it's opportunity really for Manchester United to try to create something as the ball is played out onto the far side, and the cross coming in here, but that is going to go behind. And Nick, how do you the performance by Manchester United has definitely improved in the second half? Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would say they have. I would say they have shown improvements, but as far as I know, they haven't really had a go at converting anything into goals, because Spurs have been too strong. But they are starting to get back into it. But they've only got nearly 15 minutes left.
Well, here comes Spurs again now with Dejan Kulusevski, and he gives the ball now to Johnson. Johnson played into the middle, and Maddison with a shot, but it's blocked. And that again nearly broke loose for James Maddison, who could have made that free. It's cleared away to the centre circle, only as far as Romero, who gives the ball to Van der Ven. Van der Ven plays the ball forward to Maddison. Maddison to Solanke. Solanke gets the shot away. It looks like it might have taken a deflection off De Ligt. And finally, the rain is starting to come down at Old Trafford. And, well, we're going to see a triple substitution now for Tottenham Hotspur. Oh, this is going to be fun. Let's just see Brennan Johnson's coming off. And I'm just trying to see who the other one is. We look at Brennan Johnson's goal again. And I'll just get you who these substitutes are. Looks like Johnson as well, getting an assist, of course, on the Solanke goal. So Moore is coming on. Mikey Moore is coming on right now. Timo Werner is another one going off. And we're just trying to see who who is coming on for Werner. That is the number 15, Lucas Bergvall. And James Maddison is the third substitute coming off. And let's just see who's coming on for Maddison. Oh, I just didn't quite see his name there as he went scuttling past. Yes, his number here. Yes, Pape Sarr. Okay, so let's run through those substitutions for you. So coming off is Maddison, Werner and Johnson. Coming on is Bergvall, Sarr and Moore. As it's a corner for Spurs, which Bergvall will take. He swings this corner in. Oh, it's headed on, it's in! It's passed in by Solanke! And Spurs get the third goal that they've been looking for. And it's Dominic Solanke. And that really puts the cherry on the cake for Tottenham Hotspur. And perhaps the final knife in the back of Erik ten Hag's managerial career at Old Trafford. It's the way that this is going right now. I don't really see any other way at the moment. And it's Dominic Solanke just got the final touch. The header was on by Pape Sarr. The two substitutes combined from the corner taken by Lucas Bergvall, the flick on by Pape Sarr, and right there, completely unmarked in the 6-yard box, was Dominic Solanke to tap the ball home and to make it 3-0. And Nick, again, it's really poor defending, isn't it?
I would say game, set, and match for Tottenham with that wonderful tap-in goal by Dominic Solanke. Like you say, completely unmarked. And for Manchester United, I have to say it's game over.
Well, it certainly looks that way now as the ball goes out of play. Pape Sarr getting an assist on that goal with the header. And of course, the two substitutes combining with the corner from Lucas Bergvall, as we see the Manchester United fans leaving a very rainy Old Trafford right now. It's been another disappointing day for them. And the ball is now with Jed Spence for Spurs. Here's Bergvall. Bergvall to Bentancur. Bentancur to Pape Sarr. Sarr plays the ball now down the right-hand side to Kulusevski. Kulusevski to Bergvall. And there's Bentancur. Kulusevski. Spurs looking for a fourth, maybe. Here's Bentancur. Drops the ball back into the centre circle. As 3-0 is the score right now. And we're going to be asking Nick to put his thinking cap on, because in about 10 minutes, Nicholas, my friend, I'm going to be asking you for the man of the match. And so you give that. We'll ask you for that in about 10 minutes. If you want to just pop it in the chat when you've made up your mind to our producer Ross, so he can add it up. And here's Romero. Porro gives the ball there to the number 30, Bentancur. Bentancur plays the ball back there to the back to Porro, and it's picked up by Bergvall. Bergvall releases Jed Spence, who's storming now down the left-hand side. Jed Spence tries to play the ball through here, and it's a good challenge there. Mikey Moore was chasing that one, but that was a really, really good challenge, and it looks like it might have come off Moore. And a fifth substitution now coming up for Spurs, and it's Radu Dragusin who is coming on, and coming off is Mickey van der Ven, who of course has been spectacular today. He goes off. We've had some comments in the comment section. Mike Harneman, Ten Hag's at the wheel, sacked in the morning, game, set and match. Ten Hag's time at Manchester United too, I think. Well, it very well might be, Mike. It certainly well might be. I mean, this kind of performance at home cannot be considered in any way acceptable. And here is Diogo Dalot. Plays the ball over the halfway line. Header won that time. Finds Pape Sarr. And here's Bergvall. And down there now looks like Casemiro's down there right now. Is it Casemiro? No, it's Mason Mount who's down, clutching his head. the head injury. So with 9 minutes to go, Nick, what's your thoughts on Eric Ten Hag? Do you think this is it for him now, or do you think he's going to be given more time?
I think that he is. I think he is running out of time. Manchester United have been very poor as of late, so his tenure at Old Trafford could well be over. They did. He was when he came in. There was hope that he would get Manchester United back to the glory days, but that has not happened. So it looks as though his time in the dugout could well be over.
Well, he's looking on there with. I mean, I think he's just a look of resignation on his face right now, and there's certainly a look of resignation on the Manchester United faces as well. Tomorrow, if you want to join us tomorrow, we have a live game for you tomorrow. It is Bournemouth versus Southampton, South Coast derby. Mike Harneman is going to be behind the wheel on that one, and we'll bring you that one tomorrow evening. Russ says Eric Ten Hag's doing a great job at Manchester United right now. Don't sack him, please. All right, Russ. So as we take a look into the players' box there, and you just look at Mason Mount. My goodness me, that looks absolutely awful. He looks in a terrible state. He's going to have to come off, surely. I mean, you can see the blood on the back of the shirt. You can actually see the blood stain on the back of the shirt. That looks absolutely awful. Nick, that looks like a horrible injury, doesn't it?
Yes, and I thought I could actually see some of the stains on the back of his head. So no wonder he has to go. And I think Jesse Lingard might be getting ready to come on.
Yes, that's right. So I think that's what we're going to see. Jesse Lingard coming on to as a substitute is substituted due to an injury. And it's likelihood that Jesse Lingard will be on as a consequence. Here's Rodrigo Bentancur. Just holds the ball up in the centre of midfield and releases it to Romero. Back to Romero again. There's 84 minutes gone. We've got 6 minutes till the end of this one. Here's Pape Sarr. Picked up here by Porro. Porro plays the ball forward for looking for Pape Sarr. Can he make it? Oh, he just doesn't quite. He slides on the wet pitch, but he doesn't quite make that, and it goes behind for a goal kick. As we are now going to see the substitute. We thought it might be Victor Lindelof, but it actually isn't. It is Amad Diallo who is coming on instead. So Amad Diallo is on for Mason Mount, who was a substitute himself, of course, at the start of the game, but he's picked up a horrific injury. Comments in the comments section. 4 points off the bottom three. Great achievement for Manchester United. Mike Harneman, lots of laughs there from media, radio, jingles and gaming. It seems like most of our audience tonight are quite happy with the result. Nick, if you want to just pop your player of the match choice into the group chat, please, my friend. Russ is waiting for it as a free kick is taken towards the Spurs penalty area and cleared away there by Romero, and it's picked up by Bergvall. Bergvall clears the ball forward there to Mikey Moore. Moore has got the number 16 Diallo around him, and that's a good challenge by Amad Diallo, and Mazraoui unable to keep the ball in play, and it goes out for a throw-in. And Spurs have the throw-in level with the Manchester United penalty area, and it's going to be taken down that left-hand side. It's going to be taken by Jed Spence. Spurs looking maybe to add a fourth goal here. As here's Spence again. It's a good challenge that time by Diallo. And here's Lisandro Martinez. Plays the ball there to Eriksen. Goes back to Casemiro. Casemiro will have a second chance. Here is Casemiro again. Now the ball is played forward to Rashford. Eriksen tries to lift the ball over the top. Chasing back here though is Højlund. Højlund unable to maintain possession. Good possession by Spurs there as Rodrigo Bentancur plays it back to the goalkeeper Vicario. He releases it, and now Spurs, it's 4-on-4 if they can hurry. 5-on-4 if they can hurry. Oh, the blood rush to the head of the the substitute there, Bergvall. He had options left and right, Nick, and I think he just saw the lights there, didn't he, and struck the shot.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. He certainly had that rush of blood to his head, but it made no difference.
Well, it's picked up here by Maswari, but Jed Spence nips in and wins the ball, and Spurs coming forward once again with Jed Spence. He drops the ball back there to Bergvall. Bergvall to Buntencourt. Bergvall back to Spence. Left-hand side. Oh, he tries to release Mikey Morway, but that was a good interception by Mazraoui. And here's Ericsson. Ericsson drops the ball back there to Lisandro Martinez, and now Diogo Dalla for Manchester United. Plays the ball forward, and chasing this one now is Garnacho. Tracking him is Christian Romero. Good work by Garnacho, just checking back, finding Ericsson. Ericsson swings the ball in, looking for Højlund, but it just escapes the Danish international, and he's just not able to get his foot on the end of it, but it's kept in play. Mazraoui, Diallo, back to Mazraoui. That's a good ball there to Rashford, tries to get the ball into the box, but a really good block by Jed Spence. Manchester United trying to get some sort of consolation from this game. And Mike says, United lucky this is only 3-0 with a 5-on-4 there and 1-on-1s with Werner. Could have easily been double that. Indeed, it might well have been. Here's Dallo. He plays the ball now to Garnacho. Garnacho holds the ball up on the edge of the penalty area, and he drops it back there to Christian Eriksen. Eriksen just drops the ball back into the centre circle. And it's now back there with Onana. He's almost at the halfway line. Onana heads it back on. Onana clears it downfield, and the flick on is by Romero back to the goalkeeper. Vicario had to scramble to prevent conceding a corner. And at the next stoppage of play, I'm going to be asking Nick for the man of the match. But we'll see at the moment. As you can see, this stadium is emptying out at the moment. United win the ball back there, though, and here is Ericsson. Ericsson plays the ball down to Garnacho. Corner in the penalty area, left-hand side. Garnacho tries to get the cross in, but it's blocked by Porro. Just hold off on your thoughts of man of the match for the moment, Nick. It's going to be a corner to Manchester United. And there we do go into the last minute, and Christian Eriksen is going to take this corner. And is going to swing this one in. And it's headed out there by Romero, but picked up by Casemiro. Good ball there to Eriksen. Eriksen tries to swing the ball into the box, and it just escapes everybody and goes all the way towards the corner flag, and Jed Spence is quite happy to block this ball to keep it from going out of play. Lisandro Martinez does well to keep it in, but Jed Spence keeps possession and gives the ball to the other defender there, and the other defender there, which was Dragusin, but his clearance was poor, but there was a foul, and it's going to be a free kick. So, Nick, why don't you share with us, please, your man of the match today?
Okay, the man of the match I've chosen for this game, sponsored by Commentary Services, is Dominic Solanke, and he has been absolutely incredible, not just because of that goal he scored, but he's also been a great team player as well.
All right, thank you. So today's player of the match goes to Spurs' number 19, Dominic Solanke, as sponsored by Commentary Services. So you see the long ball there played over the top, and it was really a good save there from Dominic Solanke. Another really good save by the Manchester United goalkeeper, and it's going to be, you see there, Pape Sarr nearly put the ball in the net as well. It's still 3-0, and we got 6 minutes of stoppage time. That really could have been curtains anyway. But at 3-0, there's just no way back for Manchester United at this point. And as Mike said earlier, they could have had several. It could have been 8 or 9. And here is Diogo Dalla. Dalla plays the ball down the left-hand side there and into the box. Played in there. by Garnacho. Getting on the end of that was the number 4 there, Delict, but he was not able to divert that into the net, and it went wide and into the side netting. And well, I have to say, Nick, I'd like to get your full-time assessment, please, on this game. What do you think about this performance for Spurs, the performance for Manchester United, and the effect for Erik ten Hag?
Spurs, Spurs, once they got in front, they just ran away with it like an express train. Manchester United just couldn't catch up, and I think around about half time, Spurs just left them in the dust. And I have another feeling that this will be major consequences for Erik ten Hag as Manchester United manager.
Well, it's certainly looking that way right now, as we are into the 3rd minute of stoppage time. There's 6 being given at the end of this game by our 4th official today, Craig Pawson, and it's been relatively straightforward in terms of the officiating today. I don't think there's been too much controversy. The red card given to Bruno Fernandes, and some may argue that he might have slipped. That might have been one of the arguments, but studs were up, ran down the player's leg. Not sure you can argue too much with that. Here is Kulusevski. Kulusevski gets to the byline, he turns, but it's cleared away there by Diogo Dalla, and headed on there as far as Casemiro. Casemiro tries to launch the ball long, looking for Garnacho, but it's offside, and it's going to be a free kick. As Nick, Old Trafford is very, very empty right now, isn't it?
Yes, it's been thinning out for the past 15 minutes, and I can see more and more of the Manchester United supporters walking out.
Well, the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United, as the Spurs manager there, Ange Postecoglou, can raise a smile at full time, and his trip back to London will be a much more pleasant experience than perhaps Erik ten Hag's drive home. Here is Matthijs de Ligt. De Ligt drops the ball back there to the goalkeeper, Andre Onana, who clears the ball downfield. Chasing this one is Garnacho. Garnacho now away, but what a fantastic challenge there by Christian Romero. That was a super challenge, just got right across. And here is Garnacho again. Garnacho drops the ball to the number 14, Christian Eriksen. Eriksen to Diogo Dalla, back to Eriksen. Now back to Diallo. Diallo to Garnacho. Diallo tries to get the crossing, but he runs into a Spurs wall. A little back heel there, but that's not going to work. Spurs have read that very, very well with Romero, who tries to clear it away to set Kulusevski off on his way. But that's a really fine challenge there by Diogo Dalla, and it's going to be a throw-in. As Mike continues to mock Manchester United. Big game coming up for United in a few weeks. Battle of 11th versus 12th when they travel to Brentford. Media, radio, jingles and gaming says there could be a new manager. I think I actually agree with that. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't go this week, to be honest. As the ball is picked up here there by Porro. Porro tries to find Bentancur, but Manchester United win the ball back as it's once again Romero scissor kicks the ball into the United half of the field. It's picked up by Kulusevski now. Kulusevski may decide to take the ball to the corner flag. In fact, he doesn't. Goes to Bentancur. Good ball over to the right-hand side. And now here's Mikey Moore. Is he going to try to get a shot away? Oh, that's just wide. Oh, so close for Mikey Moore for his first senior goal for Tottenham Hotspur. And that just whistles wide, Nick. That really wasn't a million miles away, was it?
Unlucky for the young man who's moved up through the youth system. Today was his first senior appearance of the season. He's made 2 prior on the subs bench in the final 2 Premier League games last season. But the way he, but seeing a game, seeing an attempt like that, I think this young man could be one to watch for the future.
And the goal kick is taken by Andre Onana, and that's it. It's full time. Well, Manchester United in the second half made a slightly better effort of it. But with only 10 men, they capitulated very easy to 2 second half goals. One from Dejan Kulishevsky that was set up by Brennan Johnson, and then Dominic Solanke getting the final touch from a corner makes it Manchester United 0, Spurs 3. Dark days ahead for Eric Ten Hag. Back to you, Ross.
Thank you very much. An excellent coverage there from Paul James and Nicholas Jones throughout this afternoon's encounters. Manchester United fall to defeat to Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford this afternoon. And we'll bring the reaction from Paul and Nick in just a moment. But let me run you through all the other scores from this afternoon's encounters. We'll go through the Premier League scores just before we finish with a recap of the Premier League table as well. Let's start off in the Championship. Swansea City 1, Bristol City 1 in the Championship there. In the FA Cup, Biggleswade 1, Canvey Island 0. In the Women's Super League, I can tell you that is Man City 1, Brighton 0, Everton 0, Manchester United 1, Leicester 0, Arsenal 1, West Ham 1, Liverpool 1. Going into the 12th minute of stoppage time, there should have been 9 minutes added on. They're still playing on, and it is currently, well, it's just second finished, in fact. Aston Villa 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2, with Tottenham getting 95th minute equaliser in that game in the Women's Super League this afternoon. In French League 1, finished Toulouse 1, Lyon 2, Angers 1, Reims 3, Nantes 2, Saint Etienne 2 in that game there. In the German Bundesliga, Austin Kiel 2, Eintracht Frankfurt 4, Hoffenheim 3, Werder Bremen 4. So 2 big results in there. 2 heavy goal scorelines in there as well. Italian Serie A to tell you about. Torino 2, Lazio 3, Roma 2, Venezia 1, Como 3, Verona 2, Empoli 0, Fiorentina 0 is the latest score, 71 minutes played there. In the Dutch Eredivisie, finished Pek Zwolle 1, Almere City 0, Groningen 0, Red Eagles 1, FC Twente 1, NAC Breda 0, KK Valvik 0, Ajax 2 in the Dutch Eredivisie. In the Scottish Premiership, Rangers 1, Hibernian 0. In the Spanish La Liga, Celta Vigo 1, Girona 1, Athletic Club 1, Sevilla 1, Real Betis 0, Espanyol 0 is a half-time score. Second half is about to get underway in La Liga there as well. So there's some of the other scores. We'll bring you the Premier League scores from this weekend and a classified check of the table as well just before we finish off this afternoon. Let me just get some comments in from the comment section this afternoon. Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says, I do have to agree there, Paul. I think Ten Hag should be gone this week. Looking at their performance today and in past matches, Jim Ratcliffe could prepare to sack the Man United boss tomorrow. There as well, Mike was also singing the Man United chant and they normally sing in the chat. But Manchester United's performance today has made me even happier after my team won yesterday. Leeds home to Coventry City yesterday afternoon at Ellen Road, which I was there at. So that's a good weekend for me as Leeds United and Man United fans hate each other. So that's a good result there. In my opinion, not a good result for the Arsenal fans who don't like Spurs, which I will give you what that means for the table in a few moments' time as well. But let me fetch back in your co-commentator for this afternoon's match, and Nicholas Jones is with us. And Nicholas, when you look at that performance overall from Manchester United today, as Paul Riley said in the second half, they improved a bit in the second half, but overall, Nicholas, nothing was it wasn't there at all, was it?
No, it wasn't, and it was almost like straight away from the start. Once Spurs got the first goal in, Manchester United had their backs up against the wall, and they just crumbled to pieces.
Yes, and Nicholas, I just want to ask you as well. Obviously, the red card to Bruno Fernandes probably didn't help Manchester United's cause this afternoon. But when they had 11v11, could you see Man United get anything out of that, or did the red card damage their chances even more?
I would have to say the red card damaged their chances even more. Even if it was 11, I feel they wouldn't have stood a chance anyway.
Yes, absolutely. When you look back at that performance from Spurs this afternoon, it was a professional performance from minute one all the way through to minute 90 from Tottenham, and didn't really let Man United settle into anything really, did they, Nicholas? They didn't really let Man United settle into anything and get any rhythm from them in their play today, did the Spurs?
No, they certainly gave Manchester United no quarter. They were like Lando Norris at the Singapore Grand Prix last week. Led from start to finish, and nobody could keep up.
Yes, absolutely. And Paul, just coming to you now, what did you make of the Manchester United performance there? 'Cause I think, like I said in the second half, he improved a bit, but overall, it was just lacking something, probably in the final third for me. Would you agree with
It
that,
was
Paul?
it was lacking a lot. It was lacking defensively. They were giving the ball away too much. They were not able to connect to midfield to attack so easily. Even with that high line Spurs had, um, they were not able to counter on that so easily. You can see how bad it is. Take a look at the pictures on your screen, Ross, that was just showing the Manchester United fans that were still there after full time, head in hands, completely distraught, with hopeless looks on their faces. And for you as a Leeds fan, I'm sure that's a beautiful sight to see. But looking at it from a neutral perspective, this can't carry on. It's this type of performance can't be acceptable from a team like Manchester United's point of view. They're a very big club. They can't be languishing in 11th and 10th place in the Premier League. I mean, I don't know where they are now. I think they may be in 12th place now. But this is unbelievable. This kind of performance is something that you would expect from a team who has maybe just come up from the Championship, a little bit naive. Uh, but this is supposed to be one of the best, supposed to be one of the biggest clubs in the world. Certainly the
Yeah,
biggest supported club in the world.
yeah. As you mentioned, Paul, about if you could potentially expect it, say if it was a team that just got promoted to the Premier League. But when you look back at some of the games uh, for Tottenham against Tottenham, for example, one of the teams who did get promoted to the Premier League in this that at the end of last season was Leicester City, and they went. And I know it was at the King Power Stadium, but they've come up against Spurs opening game of the season, got to a point out of that one, and thanks to a goal in the second half from Jamie Vardy after Pedro Porro put Spurs into the lead. But comparing, but look when you look at those two performances, the contrast of performances from Leicester to Man United today. Leicester looked more professional throughout, and yes, Spurs to lead, but they didn't sit off Spurs at all. They still pressed them, whereas Man United at times set off and allowed Spurs a lot more possession and allowed them to hurt them a bit more, especially on the counter attack, Paul.
Oh, they were being caught out in odd man rushes in several times in that second half. There were five on fours. There were opportunities that players had. I mean, it really could have been 8 or 9 today. It really could have been, and I'm not exaggerating. Onana had to make several really good saves. Werner himself could have probably had a hat trick on another day. The substitute might have scored. The substitute Pape Sarr might have scored. It really could have been 8 or 9, and I think that sort of performance is completely and wholly unacceptable from a team who is considered to be one of the top 6 teams in the country. I'm sorry, that is not acceptable.
Yes, and now, Nick, I'm going to come back to you for a second, and Just want to get your thoughts on the, say, from the Tottenham side of things. As I mentioned there to Paul, Tottenham, they were a contrasting performance. Tottenham against Leicester, as I just touched on there, in the promoted side, didn't let Tottenham have a lot of press time on the ball. They pressed them. Man United didn't do that. But Tottenham, with different gravy, they managed to pull Man United players out of position to where the spaces. And like you mentioned, Nick, Mikey Moore, good young player, coming up through the ranks. He was unlucky with his chance at the end. What do you make to Tottenham's performance today, Nick, as a whole? Do you think that was a good performance from Tottenham today?
Yes, I would certainly say so. I mean, if they keep on going, they could well be challenging for the top 5 at the least.
Yes, and also when you look at Tottenham's performance as well, do you think that their performances today, Nicola, today against Man United, some people may, I know it's early days in the season, only 6 games in, but they were only 3 points off the top 4 now. Do you think they could have a chance of potentially sneaking into that top 4 this season if they continue to play like they did today in games that they've got coming up?
I wouldn't see that as a bad count. Actually, they could well do so.
Yes, and Nick, I know you said he was not just for his goal, but his overall performance today. But what else impressed you besides his overall performance from your player of the match, Dominic Solanke, for him to be given that award today by yourself?
As I mentioned, he was also a team player. I think he set up. I think he actually set up a chance at goal that was ultimately deflected. But another player I was actually considering was Brennan Johnson. The way he just calmly delivered the ball in like the 3rd minute. So, but overall, I'd say my choice of Solanke was a good one.
It was Nicholas, and what I will say is I thought that was a really good call. And when you actually announced it on a stream during the commentary this afternoon, Media Radio Jingles in gaming, one of our good friends who, as you know, listens in, he said it was a good decision for you as well, Nick. And I just want to give you some praise as well, Nicholas, because I know this was your co-commentary debut on the Premier League this afternoon, but I thought you did a really good job. If you was feeling nervous before today, it didn't shine through this one. It didn't shine through at all during your commentary today. And Mike also said Nick did an excellent job on co-coms too on his Premier League debut. Also, want to say a big thank you to Media Radio Jingles and Gaming. Says on the positive side though, after speaking about the negative sides of Manchester United, and this afternoon said on the positive sides though, brilliant coverage from you, Russ, Paul, and Nick. So you all getting some good praise there, Nick, and I thought you did a really good job on your commentary debut here on the commentary this afternoon in the Premier League.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Whether that'll lead to anything more, I can't say at this moment. But I'm still willing to learn.
Yes, and I just want to get your thoughts, Paul, from Tottenham Hotspur today. What did you make to Spurs' performance today, and what did you make to the shout of Dominic Solanke's player of the match as well?
Spurs' performance today was really, really good. I think that they did perform very, very well. Manchester United, I mean, it could, like I said, it could have been an awful lot more. I think Ange Postecoglou, I think, would be within his rights to say we should have beaten them by more because Manchester United was that bad. But I think Spurs performed very, very well today. They looked very good going forward. As for player of the match, I think Dominic Solanke is a great shout. You could have given it to one of several. Me personally, I would have given it to Van der Ven, but it's. I mean, you could have given it to any one of those players. So I think Dominic Solanke is a really good shout.
Yes, thank you very much. And then to Paul and Nick, excellent coverage from them this afternoon on the Premier League match between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. But before we do go, let me run you through the scores from the weekend's action. Starting off in the Premier League. This is starting off with the lunchtime kickoff on Saturday afternoon, which was Newcastle United 1, Manchester City 1, Arsenal 4, Leicester City 2, Brentford 1, Brentford 1, West Ham United 1, Chelsea 4, Brighton 2, Everton 2, Crystal Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 0, Fulham 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Liverpool 2. In Super Sunday, Ipswich Town 2, Aston Villa 2, and the game you've heard, Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Monday night's kickoff, 8 p.m. UK time, with commentary on the control from Mike Arneman. We've got Bournemouth against Southampton. So let me quickly now give you the Premier League table, starting off in the top half of the table. I think we've got here first of all. Let me just look through this. Have we got the top half? Yes, we'll have the top half of the Premier League table first for you to go through, and I'll tell you who's in the top end of the Premier League table in just a second, as we just get this up for you now. So here we go. So in the top half of the Premier League table, sitting in 10th place is Nottingham Forest, now on 9 points. Brighton in 9th on 9 points. Spurs, after their victory over Manchester United, are up to 8th on 10 points, 3 points behind the top 4. In 7th is Newcastle on 11 points. 6th is Fulham on 11 points. 5th, Aston Villa on 13 points. Chelsea in 4th on 13 points. Arsenal, after their win over Leicester yesterday, they sit in 3rd on 14 points. Man City 2nd on 14 points. And Liverpool are top on 15 points after their victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers yesterday evening, like it was the late kickoff in the Premier League yesterday. Into the bottom half of the Premier League table now, starting off in 20th is Wolverhampton Wanderers. They remain on 1 point. Southampton in 19th on 1 point. Crystal Palace in 18th on 3 points. Leicester, despite losing yesterday to Arsenal, remain outside the bottom 3 on 3 points. They're in 17th. Everton in 16th on 4 points, despite getting their first win of the season over Crystal Palace. Ipswich Town, with their point at home to Aston Villa today, they climb up to 15th place. They're on 4 points as well. In 14th on 5 points, we've got West Ham United. In 13th place, we have got Bournemouth on 5 points. Brentford, who are Manchester United, are in 12th. After their defeat today, they're on 7 points, and Brentford, who Man United play next, are in 11th on 7 points. If Bournemouth beat Southampton tomorrow, Manchester United will drop down to 13th place in the Premier League table, and Brentford will be in 12th, with Bournemouth moving up a few places in the Premier League table, and they will move up. Bournemouth will have 9 points after that. No, 8 points, so they move up to 11th, Bournemouth. So Manchester United will drop down a place, as will Brentford, should Bournemouth beat 19th place Southampton tomorrow evening, which you can hear live and exclusive, live alternative off-tube remote commentary exclusive to the Commentary Hub to JB Sports, and focus on football as well, and also on Storm FM and my very own personal Twitch channel, where if you've been listening today, a really big thank you to you. So big thank you to everyone, wherever you've listened to this afternoon. We do appreciate it. That's all we've got time for then. Here on the Commentary Hub this afternoon, from myself, Russ Brennan, from Paul James, your match commentator, and your commentator Nicholas Jones as well. Thank you very much for listening. We'll all say thank you very much. We'll be back with you tomorrow. From all of the team here at the Commentary Hub, see you tomorrow night. From all the team here. Goodbye.